And I'm Elam. This is Talkaoke. This is a free-for-all talk show. You can talk about absolutely anything you want to talk about. So yeah, we're in Thamesmead today. But I want to find out a bit about yourself. What did you make? Tell us a bit about what you've made there.
I made a sunflower.
Oh, lovely. What made you decide to make a sunflower?
Because it's going to be summer soon.
Oh, so it's going to be summer soon. But is it summer now, or are you waiting for summer to come?
Like waiting.
You're waiting for summer. Okay. I mean, what do you think? I've heard quite a few people say over the last couple of weeks that they're waiting for summer. I mean, is summer now? Is it happening?
I don't know. I think we've had way too much sun, especially up in Birmingham, where I'm from. It's been so hot, and I've been quite enjoying having a bit of rain, having a bit of.
Oh, wow.
You know, I think you need a little bit of sun, but not too much sun. I'm one of those people. I burn too easily. That's my problem.
Oh, what about the sunscreen? Does that not?
I know, but like you have to put it on so much. Like, do you know, like, putting on sunscreen all the time. I feel like I'm just constantly putting it on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What? That's the question. Can you have too much? Can you have too much sun? You know, what do you think, Naeem?
No, because you'll just melt down.
So you're saying you can't have too much sun? What about yourself? What's your name? Have a chat into the mic there.
My name is Hasnat.
Hasnat, yeah? Oh, lovely. Oh, tell us about this sunflower that you've made.
It's a bit bad, but yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I think I don't think that's bad. That looks quite nice to me, you know?
I wonder whether or not, with all these flowers that are made today, if you could make like a little garden and you could actually make a garden of flowers, how long do you reckon that would take you to make? Like an entire... Where would you put it and what would you have if you could design round here? 2-3 days to make an entire garden at the craft fair just for around here. You reckon? Yeah. That's what I want to see. I think I want to see a garden of flowers made.
It looks like someone's burgers are ready. Burgers are ready. Burgers are ready. I mean, what do we think? We got some people making some paper flowers over there, and they think that maybe it might take 2 to 3 days to actually make like a garden of flowers. Is that something that we'd like to see around here? A garden of flowers? What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Imagine that. What other flowers would you have in this garden of paper flowers?
Sunflowers.
Sunflowers.
Daisies.
Oh, speak into the microphone there. So sunflowers, daisies.
Sunflowers, daisies, roses.
Any other flowers? Come and take a seat. Join us.
Yeah, poppies.
Poppies. Wow, wow. What other things would you like to see in this paper garden around here?
I wonder whether or not you could like have trees. Is that too ambitious? Could you make like a one big tree to have all the flowers around? Could you do that?
A tree.
And animals.
Animals. Ooh.
A tree that provides when it's wherever a tree that provides shade whenever it's too sunny.
Imagine that, you know, just now Will was saying how he doesn't like it when it's too sunny. He's kind of liking this sort of mellow weather, but maybe we need more trees around. What do you think? What do you think? Let us know. Maybe we need more trees around to kind of provide more shade. A shed. So what a shed for an animal? So like a sort of cottage barn or something like that. And we got a new face at the table. Let us know what your name is.
My name's Kate.
Kate. I mean, what do you think about this idea of having this paper garden? You know, Naeem, they've all made these paper flowers, and Will came with the idea of maybe having like a huge like garden made out of paper flowers. Maybe we could have some animals there. We could have like a barn. I mean, what do you think? Where would that be? You know?
That's a really nice idea. And you could get everyone to do little sections of it. So someone could be making the flowers, someone could be making the trees, someone could be making the animals.
Yeah.
Like maybe get all of the blocks to come together, do their own little thing, and then bring it all together as one big installation.
Yeah, yeah.
The problem is, who are you going to have as the gardener for this paper garden? Because someone's
You're
going
not
to have
going
to
to
go
need
around.
a gardener if it's paper, though,
I
are
don't
you?
know, but I
Oh,
feel like
really?
but someone's going to have to replace some bits of it. Because what if it like rains, for example?
Very
What are you going to
true.
do? You know, you're going to have to cut somebody to trim the paper back. You know,
Yeah.
glue new bits on.
But
It's like a new generation of gardeners.
But my question is, does it have to be made of paper? Could it look like paper, but does it have to actually be made of paper?
What if
you know?
it was made out of all different forms of recycled materials?
So maybe it could be made of cardboard.
Like
Mud.
Like mud paper. Okay, so maybe it's a temporary thing. Maybe does it have to be permanent? Georgia?
I'm Georgia. I actually have done this. I've made a paper garden before, and we've put it up on the streets and everything.
Where was it? Whereabouts?
It was for Carnival in Ladbroke Grove. So, and how we make the paper flowers is we bend the willow, and then we have this super strong wet strength tissue paper. When you get it wet with plastic glue, it is waterproof.
Oh wow.
Only thing is it's not very good with torrential rain. They do, but I'm thinking we could somehow get them all surrounded. I don't know.
Maybe you have paper that when it rains and it dissolves, you have like seeds in the paper.
Ooh, I
so
like that
then
idea.
it like almost fertilises the ground, and you've made an art piece that turns into a real garden.
That actually sounds like so you could literally have poppy seeds in this
like
poppy paper.
In your flowers there, could you reckon you could put some seeds into the actual flower buds of your paper there? Yeah.
When it gets wet down, so when it gets wet down, flowers will just come out and it'll keep on growing and growing and growing.
Imagine that.
Large.
Gosh.
How tall could those flowers go
Like 650 feet maybe.
Wow.
Oh,
I mean, so you're telling me it's gonna? I mean, I can see this sort of wind turbine in the background there. Would it be as tall as that wind turbine? I don't know if anyone can kind of see that, Mikey.
Got a question about the wind turbine actually,
Uh-huh.
because you've got like the flowers and stuff, and they're all nice, pretty colours. But this turbine is white, and they're always white. Why don't they paint them like the colours of flowers?
That's a good question. Why are wind turbines always white?
Maybe they're always white, because they're always white because they need it to like not change colour, so like they want it to be pretty old-fashioned.
Okay.
No colours.
Okay. So you're saying, the colour white might be maybe if they just want it to sort of blend into the background, they want it to be.
Or probably if you could see air, it might be white. Because of the wind turbine, will give air.
Okay, so you're saying that it kind of wants to reflect air.
Yeah, it might be white because of the clouds. The clouds, you see the sky is blue, but it's covered up very much with clouds.
Yeah.
And they want to like match it because clouds sort of, air sort of comes from the clouds.
Oh wow! So you say so, Mike. I don't know if you heard that. Is it Naib and Inam?
Yeah.
We're saying that maybe it's white because it's a bit more traditional, and also the clouds are white. So maybe air is white if we were to be able to see what air looks like, and it's white, so it blends in with the clouds, it blends in with the air,
Like if you take a look at cartoon TV, you know how when it's cold and winter, they breathe out air from the mouth. It's cold air, and you could clearly see that it's a bit like smoke, and it's white.
And it's white. Okay, so you're saying it's a wind turbine. Air is used to sort of power it, and you know what? Yeah, okay, that's interesting. But could it be any other colors? Like if you could pick a color for it to be, what color would you make with a wind turbine? Blue. What kind of blue though? Blue like your jeans? Blue like the sky? What kind of blue? Blue like this.
Blue.
Oh wow. Imagine that. That's like royal blue, right? I don't know.
Maybe it could be a color orange. One of my
so maybe so orange. Why is orange your favorite color?
Well, because it's really bright and say you like animals like bees. Like bees and wasps, but they don't have a color to use. Wear a yellow or orange. Wear a yellow or orange jacket,
Yeah.
Because bees and wasps, they're attracted. They're attracted to the light.
Oh right.
Yellow and orange,
Okay, so if the wind turbine was orange, maybe it would attract a lot of bees. Is that? Do we need to attract more bees around here? Is there enough bees around here?
I don't know. It's looking quite modern round here, isn't it?
No,
It's
you
all.
need like a bee shell for them to provide honey to connect.
Okay.
The nectar from here. Or probably they could.
Yeah.
Probably there could be an underground where all the bees live.
Can bees live underground?
Yeah.
So maybe there needs to be a home for bees here. You know, maybe you're saying that maybe there could be some local honey, some Thamesmead honey. Yeah.
Like
Wow.
magic honey.
Magic honey.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I mean, there's so many fantastic ideas here.
Probably once you eat it, you turn into a bee.
Oh wow! So it might actually try.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I actually want to find out what bees are like. But Margot, I know you got a point here.
Yeah, I don't know much about bees, but I really like the idea. And I also think because these buildings, they're going to be really, really tall. They're already quite tall. And I wonder whether there's somewhere, because some birds, they make their homes like in the cliffs. So I wonder whether some of the flats, like every other flat, could be given out to a family of birds or something like that.
Oh wow!
Because I think there's a lot of concrete here, but maybe we need. I agree, more green, more animals.
Yeah.
I really love that idea. But maybe give some flats to the animals.
I mean, how would you feel about having a bird as a next door neighbor?
Wow, yeah.
You know.
If I were to have a bird, then that would be great for me because if you actually treat a bird well, it might become you. It might follow you. Like say I had a bird, I named it Alex. Yeah, I fed it. I fed it every single day.
So you had a bird.
And then it just flies away from me. Yeah, and then I say, Alex, come. It will just listen because you have to treat animals the way you want to be treated.
What kind of bird would you have? What kind of bird?
I would have like a woodpecker.
A woodpecker. But you know what? If you had a woodpecker, wouldn't it just peck all of your furniture? And you just end up with no furniture.
Or maybe you could have a normal pigeon, a normal grey pigeon, just flying into the house.
Wow.
Not eating anything. Just throw some bread at it. Maybe it'll go out your balcony, go gather its friends, families, that more friends will join us, and
but you know what I want to know?
A good night feast in our house.
I want to know. I mean, you said that maybe when we eat honey, we could maybe you could make us turn into bees. So I'm wondering, what are bees like? What is a bee like?
A bee is like do you know the reason why bees always die when it's first stings you? If you ever wanted to know, because a bee, its stinger is connected to its nerve, and then it can't.
Oh, talk into the mic. Talk into the microphone. So you're saying that a bee is connected to its nerves?
Yeah, a bee is connected to its nerves, and then once it stings you.
Oh, okay. So the sting is connected to its.
Connected to its nerve, it has to release its nerve, and therefore it dies.
Really? So that sting is actually quite powerful. So
and then because the venom that it needs to inject in you, that once they inject in you feel ever harming it, they'll just do it. They'll just fly.
Has anyone been stung by a bee before? What was that like? I know Georgia, and then I'll come to you, Will.
I was just going to ask, do you reckon it would be a good idea to have all this because I didn't know that fact about bees, and I know a lot of things about bees, but that's the first time I've ever heard that. So thank you.
Wow.
But do you think it would be a good idea to have all this really interesting information up everywhere so that when people come here, they can learn? What other things do you think? What other things do you know about bees?
So the other thing I know about bees is that once it stings you, it injects 1 or 2 drops of venom. And that venom, is then injected into your blood.
So do you think when we get injected by bees, when we get stung by bees, do we become a bee? Do we take on some of that personality of a bee?
No, you don't really become a bee like Spider-Man transformed when he got bit.
Right.
That must be a very, very, very rare or venomous spider.
Okay. Oh, so wow. Okay, so you can get bit. Will. And then I'll come to you, Mikey.
What superpower would it give you if you got stung by a bee? Like when you get bit by a spider in Spider-Man, and he gets climbing walls.
The power that
superpower would it be? Could you fly? Could you just buzz everywhere you go?
That's a good question.
The power that you might get is to inject the venom into your opponent and maybe have some wings on your back.
Oh, so maybe just get some wings like bees. So I wonder if we had wings on our backs, would we be able to fly? Would that make us be able to fly? I don't know. Mikey? Oh, four.
I think it's a good idea for a film. I think you could call it like Bumbleman.
Ah, Bumbleman,
He gets
Bumbleman.
stung by a radioactive bee and then has the ability
Yeah.
to bumble around.
You know, isn't there a book called, I forgot the name. Is it by Steve Pullman and somebody ends up with some wing? I don't know. It was too far back that I read this book. Anyway, yeah, so wow. But I also want to know if we could take on a superpower of a bee, what's the personality of a bee? What kind of personalities do bees have?
I think you'd be buzzing, mate.
You think you'd be
You'd be buzzing.
Yay.
The personality that we have that is that you would if you had the personality that you have, it was literally you'll just go to the flowers over there in the tent.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll just take all the nectar.
You'll take, but you know what I want to know? I want to know what other animals would you like to be like? What other animals would we like to be like?
I'd like
Will?
to be like a fox.
A fox. Okay.
Mainly because people really like them, but they're also quite scared of them.
Oh right. Oh,
And they
do
live in
people really
cities,
like them?
but you never see them. Do you know what I
people
mean?
really
Like
like
they're there, but they're not there. So you can get
Yeah.
around. They're sneaky, exactly. They're mysterious, but they're
sneaky.
also like, wow, they're quite majestic as well.
But do people really like foxes?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I like
you like foxes?
They're
Okay, 'cause
beautiful.
I just always hear people not liking foxes, so I don't know.
fox.
They're beautiful. I've seen more
beautiful.
foxes recently. Right.
Oh, why
A
is
lot
that?
more.
Why are you seeing more foxes recently?
I have no idea. I think they're getting maybe bolder. Like need to search for food a bit more.
Do you think lockdown has had an impact on them?
Yeah, maybe actually. Like they've been less.
That's really interesting. That's really interesting. What impact has the lockdown had on animals? You know, I mean, a lot of people talk about the impact that last year has had on humans, but what impact has the lockdown had 2020 had on animals? Are your animals behaving differently? Are bees, are foxes behaving differently?
Maybe animals could too get coronavirus from the actual virus itself and get sick and die. That's what might be happening to the animals.
Oh wow! So maybe some of the animals have
And
also
we
got.
can tell that COVID-19 thankfully to God is fading away. Because
Yeah.
there hasn't been any death recently.
Oh, okay. Wow, no, that's so interesting. Lockdown, animals. You know, we're talking about so many things right now. Will, did you have your hand up there?
I just wonder what you're asking about the animals. What the animals in the zoos and the safaris are like at the minute, because there used to loads of people come by. They must have just been like, what's happening?
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden people are starting to come back and they're using their privacy. They just think, I want a bit of me time. What's going on?
Yeah. That's so interesting. What about the animals in the zoo? You know, not having that human interaction. What was that like, you know? How can we find out what life was like for animals in 2020? You know, Margot?
I heard a funny story yesterday at this cabaret night.
Please share.
It was about a guy who went for a trip to zoo when he was a child. He was gay, but he couldn't tell his parents. And then he saw two giraffes, you know, hitting it off. And he was saying how he really related to these giraffes because they were just so free, because the animals, they just didn't care what people thought about them. They were just having a great time, and he was like, oh, I wish I was this free. I found that quite moving.
Oh, wow.
Did he finally? Did he finally learn to stick his neck out?
Yeah.
If you saw that performance, you'd know he did.
Okay. No, I mean, that's really interesting. How can... Oh, wow, that was loud. I wonder what that was. I hope they were right. Okay. So I'm wondering, you know, are we as free as the animals? Are we as free as we should be? Are we animals? You know, what can we learn from animals? Is there something... What can we learn from animals? You know, what do you think? Are we as free as animals, you know?
Maybe what we can learn from animals is to eat stuff off the ground, like what they normally do, which is very weird for people. But some people might do that. Say like the homeless. You know how animals dig in, trespass? Some homeless people do that.
Yeah.
But I don't say that naturally animals.
Yeah.
They're homeless. Because if they actually had a home, they wouldn't be doing it. As you see, like normal people that have a house, they eat with a fork and knife. They don't eat off the ground from the bin.
So you're saying that maybe humans, we could maybe learn something from animals and eat more things off the ground. But I'm wondering, do we not already eat things off the ground already?
Yeah, where do you think our food comes from?
Animals have been probably laying in mud, like pigs.
Yeah.
If you eat pig, they're rolling in mud. And you all know, once they're rolling in mud, basically, since they're rolling in mud, like, so you clean them, but not all the germs are gone.
But you know,
then you must be eating something.
Inam,
Yeah.
where do you think, where does our food come from? Where does our food come from? Let us know. Inam, a gas station, yeah?
Wow.
Okay, then, so...
That can't be very good
So
for
they
you.
come from the shops. But what about before the shops? How do they get to the shops?
Probably from old cars that don't work.
Ah, so the animals, so the food got to the shops via old cars that didn't work. That's interesting.
Probably it might come from animals that have been onto the ground, like their feet.
Okay. It's
obvious that their feet have been onto the ground.
What did you have for breakfast today?
Oh, I haven't actually had breakfast.
Oh, really?
Oh, no.
Wow. What
Breakfast
do you
is so
usually have for
important.
breakfast? Do you have breakfast?
Yeah, I do. I normally have cereal.
What kind of cereal?
Cornflakes.
Ooh, cornflakes.
Cocoa Pops. That's
Oh,
the
Cocoa
number one,
Pops.
Number one.
Where does cornflakes come from?
Cornflakes come from.
Does it come from your skin flaking or?
No, it comes from wheat.
It comes from wheat. Where does wheat come from?
The ground.
The ground. Okay, so hey,
The soil.
maybe you eat off the ground already. I don't know.
Do cornflakes come from wheat? I feel like there's quite an obvious
Where do they come
thing
from?
in the name of cornflakes.
It might come from corn.
Yeah, corn. Yeah, cornflakes.
So they come from. So corn. Oh wow, cornflakes come from corn, and that's what you usually have from breakfast. That's really interesting.
But where does the corn come from?
That's an amazing fact.
Where does the
It
corn
is
come
indeed.
from? Where's this?
Come from maize.
Corn comes from maize. Okay, so okay, right. Okay, we're getting a history lesson here. aren't we?
Amazing.
Come and join us. What do you have for breakfast? Cornflakes, egg and baked beans.
I have cornflakes, and sometimes when my mum makes my breakfast, she
Yeah.
normally gives me egg bread, waffle, and beans. But
Yeah.
sometimes, my sister, she makes me just egg and bread, and then I eat.
You know what? Let's go around. Let's find out what everyone has for breakfast. What did you have for breakfast this morning?
I had some patisseries provided by a good friend. They left me some pain au chocolat. And I think there were both just two different versions of a pain au chocolat, really. But, usually I skip breakfast. I remember when I was younger, I used to have Frosties, which wasn't the best option because it was just a bowl of sugar. But, maybe that's why I'm still riding off that sugar hype from when I was younger.
Do you know what I mean?
Frosties.
Hey, is sugar bad? Is sugar bad? Okay, so we got. What do you guys normally have for breakfast? We've got a pain au chocolat, Frosties. You know, what did you have for breakfast this morning?
This morning I had a croissant.
Oh, a croissant. So French, quite a lot of French foods this morning.
French. And then I had a
Let's get a final thought from you, Naeem. Inam, let's get a final thought from you. Final thought before you
and
leave
then I
us.
had a burger, but that's it.
A burger. Let's get a final thought from you before you leave us. Are you heading off to get some breakfast now, or? Oh, yeah, let's get a final thought from you about anything, any kind of final thought.
My favorite animal, pretty much, is actually a spider.
A spider, okay.
Spider or snake.
Spider
I don't
or
really
snake.
care if they're venomous or not. They're just cute.
No,
They're cute. So spiders are cute. That's interesting.
Are you happy to
I'd have to agree with you there.
To touch spiders, to pick them up?
Because
I was-
touched a spider, I've cut a snake before.
I was cleaning
You're
up
brave.
last night and I accidentally touched a spider and I went,
Oh, really? How big was the spider?
it was huge, it was that big.
You know what?
If
Yeah.
the spider's bigger than a 20 pence,
Yeah.
20p, then
Yeah.
I don't mess with it.
Oh,
If it
really?
fits in a 20p or a 50p, I'm alright. Right. If it's bigger
Yeah.
than that, nah, you got to get someone else to
You
deal
know
with
what I
that.
find so interesting? I know it's not about my opinion here. I'm sort of breaking the code, but yeah. Anyway, don't worry. No. What it is I was just thinking about this, just phobias, and I'm just like, when people are scared of, I'm so simple. Like, it's interesting. People are scared of spiders, but when it comes to other animals, we're so much more used to the animal that we're not scared of them. I wonder why. What happened there? Yeah, why does, especially spiders in the UK, why do they have such a bad rep?
'Cause they-
But
do they
other
have too many
animals,
legs?
which are a bit more dangerous, dogs, for example, people are not
It's
scared
true.
of them.
It's very true.
But I think you have like, so for me, because I used to be I got attacked by dogs when I was younger, and I used to
Right.
be really scared of dogs.
Yeah.
But I could get over that fear because people had pet dogs that were really nice, but you don't
Yeah.
have nice spiders. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're not going to
But
smile.
how
and
do
look
you
like,
know a spider's not nice?
I don't know, but like.
But do
you know
they
what I mean?
respond to you?
A dog
Like, I
comes
think
up and
it's
your head,
that.
you go, "Oh, that's cute." A spider comes down from the ceiling, you freak out. So,
That's really interesting.
I mean, do you
That's
like
really
spiders?
interesting.
Spiders?
I mean, I don't mind. I actually like spiders because they eat moths.
Nah, I'd
So
rather have a moth in my house
If
than
I see a spider, I just leave it there because they're going to eat all of the horrible bugs for you. So, yes. It's,
Nah.
What do you think? Come, what's your name? We got Peter, we got Mikey, we got Will, Margot, Georgia. Elam, this is Talkaoke. This is a
that
free
mic
for all talk
working?
show.
Yeah?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, but can you hear me?
Yeah, absolutely. Can
Oh,
you hear
right.
me?
Yep, yep.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so right now we're talking about, we're talking about why are people so scared of spiders when are spiders nice, you know? Why are people not scared of dogs? You know, why are more people scared of spiders than dogs? You know, what animal would you like to be?
I don't think you've got anything to worry about, to be honest.
What in terms of spiders, dogs, in terms of... so do we not have to worry about animals at all? Is that what you're thinking?
Well, I consider, I mean, you may not believe me, but the year 2012, in the afternoon, over where we live, there was actually a craft in the sky, which was silver, that come right over, and I thought it was going to crash over in the marshes.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly it lifted up, and it was very slow. There wasn't many people about. I was about. I think some other people may have seen it, and then it just went away.
Oh, wow.
And I've seen a few other things, Westgate-on-Sea, where I thought where I was told it was a space station.
Yeah.
Then I was staying down there with my friend, or this old boy, in his place. 'Cause he's got a bit of a porter cabin in the back.
So when you say craft, do you mean like a plane?
No, it was a UFO.
Okay.
Literally.
What did the UFO? Tell us, because I don't know if many of us have seen UFOs before. What did the UFO look like?
This one was round.
It was round. What colour was it?
With sort of a silvery colour.
How did it smell? Was there a smell there?
No, it was dead quiet. Funny enough,
Oh, wow.
it wasn't make that much noise. Made a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
But the thing is, where you was standing,
Have you seen a UFO before? Come and join us.
where you was actually standing, it felt quite funny. But
Right. Yeah. So you
Well,
you,
it was
you,
so
you
you
felt
knew it
something.
was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that was the
That's
time
interesting.
when there was something on at London with the Queen.
Oh,
The
right.
year 2012.
Was
Yeah,
it not
was,
one of the
Jubilee.
Was it not one of those air jet? You know, during whenever the
No.
Queen does something. Oh, okay,
No, it was,
right.
it came
So it was
over
a
here.
UFO.
It was a UFO.
Did anybody else see it?
I think they did, but I don't know if it's been mentioned.
Yeah.
But there has been a few sightings.
There's been a couple of sightings.
Actually,
This one. Oh yeah, of course. This one.
on Blaze
Yeah.
at the moment,
Yeah.
on Thursday, they're talking about them all the time.
Blaze, is that a radio station?
It's a television station. It's Channel
Ah.
63. and they're letting out information that come like before the
so
war.
we can. So you're saying that we can find out a bit more about UFOs, Mikey?
No, I just wanted to know a bit more because I've never seen anything like that. I just wanted to know a bit more, like how big was it? I mean, we did a Talkaoke. We've done quite a few where there's been people that sort of feel that we should be talking about this more. Because they feel like it is a kind of unexplained phenomenon.
Yeah. I mean, what does UFO stand for anyone, you know?
It's unidentified flying objects. But actually, they don't call them that anymore. They call them now, they call them the UAP, unidentified aerial phenomena.
Has anyone seen, apparently, there is actually a UFO that flew over here in 2012, you know? Has anyone else seen a UFO before? Have you seen UAP? I don't think enough people know what a UAP is. I don't think UAP has the same sort of marketing as UFOs. Anyway, Margot?
I'm still intrigued to learn how, like, do they ever land on Earth? Because it kind of strikes me that this place here, I think there was some talk of maybe doing some kind of public sculpture here, but maybe we should just leave it be. So next time the UAP comes, it can just land. But that's kind of like a joke. But I wonder whether, you know, whether that's something that Thamesmead can be famous for. Because I've never seen UAPs. I have heard of them, but I certainly haven't heard of them in London area. So this maybe is like maybe UAPs could be USPs of Thamesmead.
USP,
But you know,
but I mean, because I've never seen it. Is it just about being in the right place at the right time, or is it something that was really obvious, or was it something that you noticed from a distance?
Or do you have to be the right person to see it?
No, if you was about at that stage in time, you'd have seen it. You'd have actually seen it.
You would have actually seen it. Georgia?
I'm just wondering if these UFOs, UFAPs, do you reckon they could be invisible? Because I feel like maybe there's more of them than we think, but we just can't see them. And you know when you get that funny feeling, like you're walking somewhere and you're like, oh, okay, maybe it's a UFAP.
That's interesting.
And then maybe we need to like tune into like that a little bit more. Like,
well, we've got a new face at the table. What's your name? You're Jamie.
Am I on? Hi, hello studio. Can you hear me?
Fantastic. Welcome, Jamie. I'm Elam. This is Talkaoke. It's a free-form talk show. We can talk about anything. So, Peter, a local resident, introduced us. He informed us that in 2012, a UFO, or now a UAP, as they're known as these days.
What's a UAP? Sorry.
It's the sort of 2020 word for. Oh, Michael, what's the UAP?
It's an unidentified aerial phenomenon.
You know, I'm just not sure if UAPs have the same ring as UFOs. But anyway, there was one. Peter saw one here in 2012 fly over. He thought it was going to crash into the marshes. So we're just talking about, you know, what it looks like. You know, Georgia said that maybe UFOs already kind of exist. You know, sometimes when you get that funny feeling, or you know, maybe they're already walking amongst us, but we just can't see them. I mean, any thoughts? Have you seen a UFO before, or
Plenty
UAP?
of strange people walking amongst us in Thamesmead.
Okay. So when you say strange, what do you mean by that?
Well, no, I'm being unkind. But there have been kind of, maybe it's marsh gases. I don't know. Do you think it could be marsh gases?
So
gases. What do you mean?
Which is what a will-o'-the-wisp is. But obviously they're smaller things. And it's because marshes let off a lot of methane, and methane sometimes ignites.
But maybe they're using that as fuel. Maybe that's why they've come to Thamesmead for the methane.
Right. So you're saying marshes? They actually they're kind of a living thing that they release gases.
But I sort of believe that you know, if aliens did come here, I don't think you would necessarily see them because you wouldn't know what to look for because it's aliens.
No.
So I think they might be around, but we just don't know about them.
It's like when you watch a film about aliens and they suddenly blink sideways. And it's like, oh, what's that? You know, like, oh, okay.
So, you know, are aliens the same as UFOs? Like, are they the same? Is an unidentifiable flying object is that the same as an alien? You know? Because a UFO, I mean, that sounds to me, it could be a frisbee, you know? I don't know. Like, you know, if your vision's not that great, I don't know.
Also, it could be a weather balloon or something. I don't know, Peter.
It's just unidentifiable, right? But that's a good, I mean, it has been brought up here by Georgia and Mikey that maybe these things are already amongst us, but would we be able to actually see them, you know, if they were here? You know, what do you think, Peter? You know, if can we see all aliens?
Well, hang on, let me explain to you one thing, and that is that the US government and our government have been covering this up, well, before the war, and Winston Churchill knew about them, and also there's been a few crash landings like Roswell, and also in this country, which we call the British Roswell.
Yeah.
And apparently they went, and not just one, probably about 20 or 30, went round the White House for probably a couple of weeks, just circling it, and the government did not let it out. They refused.
I'm going to join you later, but I'll
Let's get a final thought from you before you leave us.
I'd say let's welcome aliens and see what intelligence they bring.
Okay. Tell us about the library tour. Hey, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Adriana. Hello.
Wonderful.
I'm doing tours of the library.
Why do we need to see the library?
Because it's got the best view and it's pretty nice upstairs.
You know what? I think that you should, when you, after the tour, come and join us. Let us know about
Definitely.
you know, and bring the tour, the people on the tour to us.
That's a good idea.
And let's chat about it. You know, I wonder if thank you very much. I wonder if aliens...
Do you believe in aliens, Adriana?
Yes. But I wonder if aliens, would they like the library, you know? I wonder if the aliens are already in the library, Georgia.
Maybe they are. All this talk about alien spotting, it makes me think of my friend who...
Alien. Sorry.
I'm loving it. A little bit of karaoke going on. Do aliens like karaoke? Hey? My friend, he went to go and live in somewhere in Ireland to go UFO spotting in the 80s, and I'm just wondering if that could be something that we could do here, have particular days where we all get together and try and spot all the different potential aliens.
But you know, when did your friend ever report back to you about what kind of things do you need to look out for when alien spotting?
I think from what he was saying, or what I can remember what he was saying, is they just looked at the sky a lot, and I think he did see a couple, and it's meant to be a specific space, place in, I think it's in Cork, where you can go looking for stuff in the skies. That's all I can remember.
That's really interesting.
Does it help to have a couple of pints of Guinness first?
Maybe. I mean, there are fairies in Ireland as well, so
there are fairies.
And I can vouch for that. Legit.
Oh wow! So have you seen a fairy before?
No, but I've seen the opening to a fairy. World.
And what's the difference between what does that opening look like? What did it feel like? I know when you said that you saw the UFO, you felt something. What did the opening to that fairy world, what did it look like? What did it feel like?
Well, it's actually funny because we were talking about foxes earlier. And so this particular fairy opening, it had 2 pillars and then 2 sleeping foxes at the top.
Yeah.
And then golden gates, a kind of mirror, I guess. But I didn't enter in, so I didn't actually get to meet them. So yeah.
Is there a reason why you didn't enter in?
Because I went, I can't remember, but no. When I asked my friend about it, he was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "There's foxes."
This is interesting. So I mean, we're talking about. I mean, quite a few things have been brought up. We've got UFOs, aliens, fairies. Are they all linked in a way? Margot?
I'm just intrigued a little bit by what this guy said. Oh, sorry, I forgot his name already. Tom, maybe? Tom.
Oh.
So this man here, I don't know, but this man who sat here, Jamie. Wow. No, but I'm just intrigued by what he said. He said something about, I can't remember how he put it, but he said, he talked about people of Thamesmead. And I just wonder, could you tell that someone's from Thamesmead if you don't know what you like? What are you looking for? Like, what is, like, who lives here? Yeah, is there a Thamesmead vibe or look like you have about maybe the aliens or something like that? I don't mean like, I'm not saying people are aliens, but I'm just saying like, is there some kind of unique Thamesmead thing? Because we've got Will here. He's from all the way from Birmingham, but like, are you picking up any vibes?
Yeah.
No, what I'm interested in is there any like local myths? We're talking about things that are going on in the spooky unknown, and everywhere we go to has its own like local myth. Do you know what I mean? So I just wonder, in this area particularly, what are the local rumours, you know, or myths that are going about? Is there like every third day of the month when it strikes 3 a.m, this shady figure appears on the corner of Sea Court Road and everyone has to do a runner because if you look at him for too long, he turns up behind you. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's going on? Or am I just, is there nothing?
Yeah, that's so true. Any local myths, you know? You know, I think that's a good question, actually. Mikey.
Well, this is not quite that local, but it's also a marsh thing. Because I grew up in Gravesend where they've got marshes too, and they talk about the marsh monster.
Yeah. Oh wow. So what does that? Have you seen the marsh?
No, I've never seen it.
Well, what
drag you into the marsh with the frogs.
Okay. Peter.
Yeah, I was going to say that in America, apparently there was some UFO that crashed, and they found live aliens. And they did take them. They would let them go back for a little while, and then they did actually take them, and they kept everybody away, and they didn't let this out to the media. It's always kept secret. But there's been more than one event. There was another event where there was one going along the road, which is in America. I think it was near Area 51 or 2.
Yeah.
And somebody came along and saw it, and it was waving to them. It obviously wanted them to stop, and he got his gun out and he shot it and killed it.
Wow.
And the only other thing that I was going to say is there was another alien that they actually caught, and they captured it, and they put it in this place.
Yeah.
And the military or the American people that were in charge was looking after this alien, and the person who was looking after him started asking, questions.
Yeah.
And the alien stared him in the eyes. It was only a little thing. And he said to him, "You better let me go."
So did he speak English as well?
They can speak any language. They're telepathic.
Yeah.
And they're above anybody's intelligence. So they're above our intelligence.
So I want to ask, what did these aliens look like?
This particular alien, anyway, what actually happened is that he was so frightened about the situation, and he thought that it would cause a lot of harm if he didn't let it go, that he did report it, and then he sneaked in there, got the key, let it out, cut the wire and let it go.
Oh.
And he could have got actually in a lot of trouble for it, but they actually covered it up and just ignored it.
Oh wow! Okay, so
all on telly.
Will?
Yeah, I just want to rewind because that's really interesting that aliens are telepathic. They can speak any language. The big question is, what accent do they have? Because do you know what I mean? Like, if someone comes down, there's I've come from far and wide to see you. It's not going to have the same impact if you meet a Brummy alien, is it? So
Isn't
what accent are these aliens going to have, and
That's
why have they chosen that accent?
That's a good question.
That's my question.
Well, that reminds me of Doctor Who, where when they had Christopher Eccleston as the Doctor, and his new assistant said, if you're from another planet, how come you've got a northern accent? And he said, lots of planets have a northern.
That's really interesting. I mean, we're talking about aliens. We're talking about aliens, fairies. We're also talking about what's the other one? UFOs, now known as UAPs. What accents would aliens have? And if an alien came here, would we even notice them? Who is an alien? Is it somebody who comes from a different city? If somebody comes from a different city here to Thamesmead, would they be seen as an alien? What is an alien? We've got a new face at the table. What's your name?
Mandy.
Mandy. Let us know if you have any thoughts about, these opinions. Is the bird you're eating an alien? Are cows alien? Anyway. Although I don't know if you're eating beef or not.
I just want to pick up on the point that Jamie made when he said, if aliens came, we should make them feel welcome.
We should make them feel welcome.
Would you welcome an alien or would you shoot it like in
God.
a TV program?
Oh, Lord.
I would welcome an alien.
Yeah. How would you welcome an alien?
If it were to taught me my language, if it were to taught me their language, I would welcome it literally in their language. I say, how are you? You're welcome to Earth.
Yeah.
And then I wouldn't kill it because maybe aliens could be immune to bullets. You never know.
Yeah.
They might have powers. Then if you try killing it, they
But
might know.
You know, when you meet somebody new, how do you? When you meet somebody new, if a new person was to come to this area now, what would you say to them? I know somebody's calling you, Inam. Somebody's calling you. Who is calling you? That's the question. But I think Inam left us with some really good sort of points here. If you were to meet an alien, ask them, hey, how are you? Will, and then I'll come back to you.
Because our greetings have changed in a post-pandemic world now. You got the elbow bump, you got the little nod instead of the handshake. So, I don't know, you don't know. Giving an alien a handshake could be an absolute spit in the face to them. Do you know what I mean? They could be like, I can't believe you just shook my hand, mate. What are you doing? So, what's the protocol? Do you know what I mean? How would you feel if how they say hello is a French kiss? I don't know if I'm comfortable with that. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to French kiss an alien, but that might be what they do to say hello.
But how do you greet?
Who knows?
How do you greet someone or something that you don't know? You don't know what would we call it a cultural norm when it comes to aliens? It's
a lot of pressure though, isn't it? If you're the first one to meet an alien, you've got to set the standard for how they're going to greet all humans in the future. It's quite a bit of pressure. I think.
Mean, that's.
We need a census on this.
How Peter, and then I'll come to you, Georgia. How would you greet an alien? I know you had a point to make.
Well, I'm very skeptical. I wouldn't. I'll try and keep as clear as possible. Apparently, they've actually abducted people, and they've been doing this for a long time. And they've put chips in, and there's even been chips they've put in the brain. And in actual fact, they've been about before we was on the earth. So they've been about a long time.
Yeah.
And they've been watching us. And if they was to attack us, they could crack us like a peanut. We couldn't do anything about it.
Is there anyone that that you feel that maybe an alien may have put a chip into, or?
Well, I'm under the opinion that they don't want to harm us.
Yeah.
But if we try and harm them, which we have done, the military has fired all sorts of things at the UFOs.
Right.
And what we found is that we can't touch them.
So
that's it, basically.
They actually don't want to harm us,
I don't think so.
Georgia?
About in retaliation to not retaliation, that's the wrong word. Welcoming aliens, and maybe it wouldn't be us initiating the welcome, the hello. Maybe it'd be the aliens' way of, I don't know, maybe we should just let them do the hello first. Cause
even if it's a French kiss, though, because
Well, I don't know. They're the ones that are coming to this planet. This is our If they're coming here, then I feel like we should kind of let them do their own welcome. But
I mean, sometimes I wonder, who are we? Are humans aliens?
Oh yeah.
I think we've set the precedent, though. We were just saying that they've abducted us. Maybe we did initiate the hello. Maybe the aliens think the way you say hello to human is to abduct them. Because we took one of them and they went, oh, that's just how they say hello then. So we'll snatch a few, say a quick hello, and then drop them back. So
I mean, how do you...
Maybe just making the wrong first move.
How do you greet somebody who you don't know? Well, you've met somebody comes and sits next to you.
Well,
and
I've
you don't
learned
know
in
them.
London that you don't. You just keep your head down on the tube and you
Right.
don't make eye contact. Am I wrong on that one? Like,
Right.
Definitely don't talk to anyone.
Tell us, where are you
Do
from?
not talk to
see, in
anyone.
Birmingham,
You're
like,
from Birmingham.
yeah, you just say all right. You know what I mean? Give you a little nod and
So
a
on
smile.
the bus, you know, you sit down next to somebody. What do you say?
gotta give a final
Let's get a
thought.
final thought from you before you leave us.
Yeah, I'll probably come back. I'm just going to get something to eat, and
Oh,
I'll
what are
come
you
back
gonna
later.
get? What are you gonna get to eat?
Oh, I don't know. I'll have a look.
Let us know.
The
Definitely come
vegan
back.
burger's good.
Definitely come back.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the alien mug.
Yeah.
Vegan burger.
Mikey, you got a chip in your head.
People say I've got a chip on my shoulder, but not necessarily in my brain.
Hey, just
How
push
does
that
it
up.
taste, the chip on the shoulder? I'm curious. Yeah, wow. I'm not going to lie, I was really loving that conversation. Come and join us. Tell us, how was the library tour? How was the library tour?
Are there any books there on aliens?
Yeah, you know, it seems that whenever I have to talk with a bit more bass in order for people to hear me, I don't know, it seems to project a bit more this way. Come and join us. Are you local? Are you from Thamesmead? Yeah, come and take a seat. Come and take a seat. Let's get around the names. What's your name? Ranky. Talking to the microphone there. Yeah. We got, what's your name?
Frankie.
Frankie. Floran. We got Mikey. We got Inam. Nabe. We got Will. We got Margot. We got Georgia.
Hello.
I'm Elam. This is Talkaoke. It's a pop-up talk show. Wow, we've spoken about so much today. We've spoken about bees. What kind of personality could bees have? You know, like there's some people making paper flowers over there. Do we need to see like a paper garden, perhaps? We've also spoken about UFOs, fairies. Do you believe in fairies? Why not? That's the question. Why not? Why don't you believe in fairies? Come and take a seat. Let us know. Let us know. Come and take a seat. What about aliens, UFOs? In 2012, apparently a UFO actually flew past this area. So, you know, but yeah, we've just spoken about so many things today. So, you know, let us know what are you doing here today? What's the plan?
There isn't really a plan. We just came down to see what's going on because we saw loads of flyers and that about.
Yeah.
So,
What? Okay, so what's the vibe saying to you now? Do you think you're going to stick around here?
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting better, I would definitely say that.
Yeah. In what way is it getting better?
It's getting more like environment coming together and becoming a community.
So in what ways is the environment kind of getting better and coming together? What does that look like to you?
Because of this, like, a lot of people are coming here because like people are going to go in the flats, live in the flats, and it's going to like people just going to meet and yeah.
So are you saying like a community is kind of made through kind of more people living somewhere?
Yeah.
So what kind of earlier we were talking about like aliens, and you know, how would you greet an alien? You know, or you know, what is an alien? When you first meet somebody new, how do you greet them? How do you meet them?
I would. Oh, go on.
Here you go.
I would treat them like. I don't know. I would just treat them like however like.
Yeah.
Make them feel comfortable, no matter how like
Yeah.
they look or how they are.
Right. So you're saying it doesn't really matter what somebody looks like. You can just treat them just like you would anyone else. We got a new face at the table. What's your name? We got Eduardo. This is Talkaoke. It's a pop-up talk show. At the moment, we're talking. We're talking about aliens, UFOs. We're talking about bees earlier. Now we're talking about like community. Apparently, the more people that are sort of moving to the area is making the area feel a little bit more warm. What kind of things would you like to see in this area? What kind of things would you like to see? I'll come to you guys, and then yeah.
More people like come around and like help the community.
I know we've got some water fountains over there.
I wish there was a swimming pool.
What kind of things would you like to see?
I don't know. Like, I wish there was maybe. No, I think it's good how it is like now. I really do like it.
It's good how it is now. Okay then. Okay. What about yourself? Oh, we got a new face at the table. What's your name?
What's your name?
Oh, is that Joshua's mum?
What's your name, Joshua?
What am I going to talk
What's your name?
What's your name for starters?
We can talk about anything.
Sauce. Oh, my name's Joshua.
Joshua. Great. Lovely to meet you. What kind of things? Hey, oh wow, you got a whole crew here. You know, he's your friends. Oh wow, how did you meet?
We live in the same flat, all of us. We all live in the same flat.
Oh, so all of you guys live in the same flat? Oh, so these are the new kids. What makes them the new kids?
They moved like how long ago?
Like 2 years ago, 1 year ago.
Ah, 2 years ago. And how long have you been living in the area? So we got the old kids and then we got the new kids. All right. So how?
I've been in there for like 2 years.
So you're a new kid as well, semi-new. How did you all meet? Where do you meet?
Basically, I met him, but I just moved to London, right? Before I lived in Leeds, I went to Willowbank, and then he was in my class. We got along, and then when I was coming home, I was surprised to see him going into the same flat as me. So I asked him, where do you live? He told me where he lived, and then my mom and his mom arranged like a day for where me and him can go to each other's houses.
Okay,
so
lovely.
We done that. So when I went to his house, I realized that he had 4 brothers and 1 sister.
Oh wow! So you got to actually learn quite a bit about him. But you know, we were talking about because we also had somebody around the table, Will, who's from Birmingham. So you were born in Leeds. What was it like coming to London? Are people friendly in London? What's the contrast? What's the differences, should I say, between Leeds and London?
Oh, no, that's right. The difference is that in Leeds we have different accents to London people.
Right.
A lot different. So when I moved here, it was quite difficult for my friends to like understand me because I had a different accent.
Right. So it was difficult.
So
I'm gonna go eat.
it was quite different. Like.
Was it a bit faster?
Yeah, it was a bit faster.
A bit faster.
And you know how you guys say faster? We say faster.
Right. I'm just going to get some final thoughts. Any final thoughts from you guys before you leave us?
Not faster. Yeah.
I just think
we say
the
faster.
community
We say
more
faster.
together, and I think it's like more. I don't know how to explain it. Like it's coming so much more
the
like better.
Communities, you're getting to know your neighbours. Any final thoughts from yourself?
Well, I think like what's happening now, I feel like if that happens kind of a lot,
Yeah.
it would just be like good because
Yeah.
you know crafts.
Yeah. What is happening now?
Everyone's coming together from
yeah.
everyone's coming together from all different places, and they might like it. So they might like the new houses. They might move in. They might look at it and they might look. This is actually a nice place.
Right. What makes this place a nice place?
Because it isn't. It makes it a nice place because the people that are in it are like respecting it.
Mikey?
I've got a question just about the fountains. Hang on. I've got a question about the fountains because I was just appreciating the fountains and the noise they make. But then it's like the same as rain, so I don't really get it because when it's raining, it's annoying. But when the fountains are on, it's actually quite nice and peaceful. So I don't get that. But I do like the fountains.
So you're saying that you do like the sound of the fountains, but it sounds like rain. But when it's raining, it's annoying.
Yeah.
Let us know how it goes today. Yeah.
Come back later.
Let us know. Yeah, definitely come back later. That's so annoying. Does anyone else like the fountains? Do you like the fountains? What would you like to see? You know, would you like to see fountains anywhere else? Do you get annoyed by the rain? Do you like the rain?
Like what my son said, Joshua. Yeah, we moved from Leeds to London when the pandemic started last year.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, in January.
Yeah.
And we found the place is okay. It's quiet place.
Yeah.
If we compare in Leeds where I was living. Yeah, it's quiet, and the school for the kids is not far from the house. That is benefit for us as well.
Yeah. So what made you choose this area? What is it about this area that you like?
This area we chose to move to this area because we knew that it's a quiet area.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can educate good our kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we compare where we was living in Leeds.
And how does this area compare to Leeds?
Yeah, compared to Leeds, where we was living before, it was too much movement there.
Right.
Busy.
It was a bit busy.
Busy, yeah, too busy.
So you kind of like the quietness of this area. We've got some new faces at the table. What's your name?
Hello, my name is Andreas.
Andreas.
How are you?
Good, good. And what's your name?
Hi, my name is Valentin.
Valentin. So we've got Andreas, we've got Valentin. Are you guys from this area?
Well, we just moved here, but fairly new. So we don't know anything about it.
Oh, wow. Okay. Hey, so what's your first impressions of this area?
Positive. Very green area, a lot of nature.
So green, nature. We've got the water fountains in the background. Eduardo, is it?
Yes.
Eduardo was saying that what he liked about the area was that it was quiet compared to where he was before in Leeds. Where were you moving from?
From Canary Wharf.
Ah, Canary Wharf. Okay, so how does this area compare to Canary Wharf?
So it's probably, as you just said, it's more green, more quiet.
Right.
More space.
Canary Wharf is quite green, right? But I noticed that some of the grass is synthetic. I don't know. Yeah.
Probably.
I
guess perfection is key down there. Anyway, so yeah.
But there's something that the boys, they're missing in this area is the place to play football.
Ah, okay. So
yeah, because they're playing most of time in the flat there. And some neighbors they're complaining.
Yeah.
But the boys they want to practice football. They don't have a football field.
Yeah.
Where they can play.
I mean, what do you think? Do you have enough places to play football? Do you have enough places to play football? Where do you play football? Do you play football in your flat?
Yeah.
Is there enough places to play football around here? Yeah, come and join us. Take a seat. What's your name? Aaron. Talking to the microphone there. Okay. Is your name Yo? Yo. Okay. Hey, Yo. How's it going? So, we've got Eduardo, we've got Valentin, and then we've also got, come and take a seat. Let's know some of your thoughts here. What's your name? Sally. Welcome, Sally. Ali. Okay. So, this is Talkaoke. It's a pop-up talk show. You can talk about absolutely anything. Right now, we're actually talking about sort of the area, what people like about it. Mikey said that he really likes the water fountains, but it sounds like rain. However, he doesn't like rain. But also Valentin said that what drew them to the area was the fact that it's very green, and for Eduardo, he really likes the fact that it's quiet around here. However, there's just not enough places to play football. So, what do you think? Is there enough places to play football around here?
There's only like one area which is over there. It's called the Cage.
It's called the Cage. And where would you like to see more football pitches?
Right here.
So you want to see a football pitch right here, on your doorstep? That would be lovely. What other things would you like to see? A gym. Okay. What about yourself? More footballs. Okay. So it seems like everyone's quite like fitness orientated around here. People kind of like exercise. Georgia?
I'm just wondering about this like football thing, like being able to play it right here. Do you think, would you want it so that it would be something that you could use the space alternatively, like having like a pop-up football pitch? Like, I'm thinking like all these amazing like things that would pop up. I don't know, like pop-up goals or something like this.
But I think the space is enough to make a little bit football.
Yeah.
Field is enough space.
Yeah.
The kids they can come here to play football because the neighbors they complain every time.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
would it be enough for the space to be here, or would you think that there would need to be some kind of football kind of training, or is it just enough that the kids or anyone who wants to play football just comes down and kicks the ball around. I remember my sister, she used to always be kicking a tennis ball and practicing like that.
They'd be kicking a tennis ball?
Yeah, to practice her skills. You know?
Can you play football with a tennis ball?
Not really. I don't know.
It's a bit hard, isn't it? What's your name?
Is your scooter?
Lily. Hey, Lily. Hey, Lily. Hey, how's it going? Oh, lovely.
Sure.
You know, earlier we were talking about what kind of flowers people would like to see around here. We got lilies, we got sunflowers. Is there enough flowers around here? You know, do we need to see more flowers? Yeah, there's enough.
There's more wildlife on the lake. So you get some more wildlife and the birds and things like that.
Yeah. What kind of wildlife are on the lake? What kind of wildlife are there?
We've got like fish, insects.
Wow, the football is happening. It's happening here. Mikey?
You got wildfowl.
Wildfowl. What is wildfowl? Ooh, wow, check out that dog.
Swans
That's
and ducks.
interesting. Swans and ducks, wildfowl. So there's quite a lot of animals around here. That's a really interesting looking dog. I wonder what kind of dog that is. What kind of dog is that? Let us know. Is it an alien? I don't know. I've never seen. We were talking about aliens before, actually, and how maybe aliens are already amongst us. Peter was saying how in 2012, while we were all concerned about the Olympics, a UFO actually flew over this area. But also as well, we were also told that maybe it wasn't a UFO. Maybe it was from the natural gases that form from the marshes there. So this area, there's a lot going on. Is there something that you don't know about the area that you'd like to find out about it?
You take the chair.
It's a good question to ask about something that I don't know about. I need to discover it.
And how do you
sure,
discover a new area?
By walking, running.
Okay, walking, running. Okay,
Talking
exploring.
to people.
I was actually wondering who's taking care of the horses I know there's some horses in the park.
So there's horses over there.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Wow.
Who's taking care of them?
Are they just chilling in the
next
park?
to the water, basically.
Hey, does anyone know who takes care of the horses in the park?
I don't know the answer to that question, but are they wild horses or are they kept horses? What's the deal?
Between the fences, so I feel like.
Yeah.
And do they do like horse riding or just there for?
Yeah, sometimes we see like some horses on the road going up and down with carriages. So I think they use.
Not just wandering.
That's interesting. You fed them some carrots. Oh, lovely. That's really. There's the curious case about the horses on the marshes. Mikey?
I think a lot of them belong to the traveller community. There's a traveller community here. So a lot of them belong to that. So like the Romany community.
Yeah. What is the traveller community? What is that? Do they just travel around the world, the traveller community?
Well, I think this one is more just the UK, but there's a tradition of horse riding and horse racing.
Yeah.
That they do a lot. I don't know too much about it, but that's what somebody told me.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So we've actually got quite a lot of animals locally. We got the canal, the river, the canal, the lake, should I say, with some wildlife there. We've also got some horses. Do you know much about the horses?
Yes. I know, like, there is someone who owns all of them, but like people can buy them and like still keep their horses in the field if they pay. So like not all of them are owned to I don't know his name, but like the man.
Yeah. So there is someone who looks after them, and so you can actually buy the horses if you wanted to. That's really interesting. I mean, I wonder how much does a horse cost? You know?
Well, I do know something. I asked him for a baby boy, and guess what he said to me?
What did he say?
£15.
Wow, so £15 for a baby horse. That's all. I mean, that sounds quite reasonable to me. I mean,
you've got to remember, you've got to look after that horse and spend the money on looking after the horse.
I mean, how do you care for a horse? Do you just feed it carrots, or does it require a little bit more maintenance?
They need more space. I don't know, man.
Uh-huh.
I think they need a lot of space.
Do we know enough about horses? You know, I mean, is there enough wildlife around here? You know, do we know enough about? Do you know enough about burgers and where they come from? What is a burger made out of? What is
Cows.
your burger made out of? Cows. Yeah. Do we need more cows around here? Do we need more cows around here?
No.
What does a cow sound like? Moo, moo. Okay, good. But yeah, I mean, okay, so you've been living in the area for 9 years.
Mhm.
What's for some? We've got quite a few new people that's moved to the area. Andrea and Valentino, as well as Eduardo. They're all new to the area. But what's something that some hidden fact about the area that you think that they might like to know?
I don't know that really. There's not really much about Thamesmead. I won't lie about that. But yeah, I guess not really that much.
What is it that you like about it? What's a place that you go to have fun?
Lake.
You go to the lakes, yeah? Okay. What's nice about the lakes?
I don't really want to say, but we go to the lake and we have a lot of fun.
Okay. I'll leave it at that.
Totally not jumping in.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Maybe it is my time to jump in the lakes. Oh, I thought you were going to do a sound effect.
How
there,
did you know
that? Wait. Guys, I've taken the plunge into the lakes, and I'm going to jump out. But also, rest assured, who's going to jump in? Who's going to jump in?
You know what we miss in this area as well?
Pardon?
You know what we miss in this area?
What do you miss?
We miss in Woolwich. When I go there, I see the street, shops, something like that.
Yeah.
But here it's not. You understand?
So there's kind of not enough shops around here. There's not enough shops around here.
Yeah, shop is street. I don't know how you can call it.
Yeah, like a high street.
Something like that. Yeah.
You know what? When
we miss it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He sounds French. Hi.
Because in village, when you go there, you see many places you can eat.
Shout out to Lorraine.
Anyway, it's a good place. It's a good place.
Let's have a big round of applause for Ellen.
Yeah. New place. Well done.
Oh, let me just. Is this screwing in? Come on. There we go. Hello, can you hear me? Yes, you can. Yes. Okay, so. Oh, thank you, Will. Okay, so. Ellen's going off to get some. Are you going to get jerk chickens over there, though, isn't it? Ellen's going off to get some jerk chicken, so I'm just going to keep this warm in the meantime. I'm just going to do a quick refresh of names. My name's Mikey. What's your name again?
Lorraine.
Floran?
Lauren.
No F. Lauren. And what is it?
Frankie.
Oh, that's where I was getting it from.
Her
Frankie.
name's not Frankie, it's Frankenstein.
But you can be anything you want to be. It's up to you. So, Lauren, Frankie, and Andreas. And Valentine and Eduardo. And who have we got over here on the cameras? We've got 3 cameras.
Margot.
A row of cameras there. Did we get Eduardo? Well, I remember Eduardo. Where do we want to take this conversation? Do we want to talk about things to do in the area? You mentioned the shops. Apparently, all of this is going to be shops, but what kind of shops?
Yeah,
there's a question there.
Shops, yeah. Like snakes.
Snakes? You want a snake shop?
Kebab shops.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, something like
I mean,
that.
what kind of shops would you like to see?
Yeah, like in Woolwich.
Yeah, and
if you walk there, you see many kinds of shops. Different, yeah. Like here it's very quiet, only Aldi, these big shops, you know.
Yeah.
But these small shops.
You want to see these small scale shops?
Yeah,
okay.
where you can repair as well your phone.
Yeah.
You can buy new phones.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Okay, so a phone shop maybe. What sort of shop would you like to see, Lauren?
Maybe like a mini Sainsbury's, I don't know.
We were talking about fear of bees earlier on. You missed that conversation.
That's
so like a mini Sainsbury's. Frankie, what would you like to see?
I want to see an animal shop.
animal shop? Any particular type of animal?
Like pets at home.
Yeah.
Also, I think Tari's, like down there, if it would be here, like just like in a few shops that like, instead we have to go like all the way down there, all the way down here, it would just be outside our door.
Okay. So, what, it needs to be more local, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think.
Okay. Okay, let me go. What's your name here? Josh. So, Josh, what's have you got an opinion about shops? Turn the mic around to you as well, because we're trying to record this so that people, and we're going to show it to the power.
I think shops are good, but I can't shop at Tories anymore because I got kicked out. So yeah, like I got banned from Tories, so I can't go. Huh? Basically, I may have stole something, but yeah, I did something wrong in the shop. I'm banned from going. I'm banned from going.
Shaking their heads. I'm just going to come. This looks like a very big point here. So let's go to Andreas. What sort of shops would you like to see here?
Yeah, in phase one, maybe a coffee shop and a gym, etc.
Yeah.
Or a little Sainsbury's, something like that.
Coffee shop's gonna be good.
Bakery, coffee, yeah.
Coffee shop.
Bagels.
Coffee shop's good.
Can we get Sports Direct?
Yes, Sports Direct. Sports Direct.
Ice cream. And then phase two,
Ice cream shop.
let's make it bigger. We want to see cinemas.
A swimming
we want
pool.
to see stuff. Restaurants.
Maybe yeah, coffee shop.
It's not enough space.
I believe there should be like in the weekends like a local farmers market where like a local community can sell flowers or like even coffee, you know what I mean, or anything they do locally to support the local community.
Okay, so a farmer's market. Let's get names again.
No. You should make there should be a Sports Direct here. Sports Direct.
Mikey.
That's old school. It's like drinking milk. It made a massive comeback though.
Yeah, Sports Direct.
Because like, it just looks like all
And maybe Tories.
shops.
But we didn't want any.
Because so we can buy new football shoes and footballs.
What sort of shops would you like to see around? Yeah. Does there need to be shops here? What would you like to see?
A pharmacy.
There's one literally there. Right there. No, like, I don't know, down there. Yeah, basically, where are you going to put the shops? Because it looks like all flats. Where is the shops going to be?
Where are the shops going to go? We need to ask some. Are there any experts here that can tell us where the shops are going to go?
In your head.
Okay, Peter, go on.
Well, I don't know where the shops are going to go, but I was thinking of leisure activities, basically, and I think that round this bit, if it was possible, I think a chess club might be a good idea. Yeah, and in Hastings, like, you know, there's a square where they have chess outside and they have big pieces that everybody actually plays, you know, the kids like them. Yeah, and that's in Hastings. We don't have to do that here, but it's just an idea.
Okay, so maybe we could have a giant chess set.
Yeah.
That's quite a nice idea. You could go out on the squares on the square. What do you think about that giant chess set?
Who knows how to play chess here? That's the question. No? Will?
Yeah, chess is really important to know how to play. But what I wonder is whether or not the people of Thamesmead, what they need is like a rotating pop-up shop, and every resident gets to put forward an idea every month or every 3 months.
A different shop every.
Yeah, like and it comes from the recommendation from the residents. But if that's the case, what would your shop be? That's
Okay,
what I
so
want to know.
that's quite a nice idea of trying out different shops for different different shops and trying different stuff, see what works. So you could have a Sports Direct for a month just to see if it worked. Do you reckon that would be a good idea?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's
And we could have a JD.
a JD Sports as well. Would that be too many sports shops, do you think?
No.
Okay. We didn't get your name. What's your name over here?
Natalia.
Nathan. Okay. Let me just
Thank you.
just give us a sound check. Say your name again.
Aaron. Okay.
Nathan.
Nathan. Okay. Another round of applause. Okay. So we're talking about shops. You're going to have to move the mic around to Ellen. Ellen, what's your idea here?
I really love those bulk stores where you can like bring your own container and like fill it up with like, sweets, fill it up with rice. But the whole thing is that, you know, there's no plastic. So yeah, there's less plastic waste.
What do you think about that?
You know?
Would that work? Could you have a Sports Direct where you got like trainers but without any shoebox? Would that be better? Whoops. Or like sports stuff without packets, so that you just had it and you just kind of took it without a bag. Would that work? Okay, so Nathan's up for that.
That was the point, that.
So what other ideas for shops? Do people like this idea of having like a sort of a rolling shop, like a pop-up shop for a month?
Is Mandy around? She might have some. Let me find Mandy.
Oh, hang on a second. Andreas, Valentin, give us a final thought before you go. Where is this? Where do you want this conversation?
Is there going to be more like school education centers or like cultural places? Yeah, like a theater, mini theater or something like that. Like.
I've got a question.
Good one.
It's a good question. I mean, to add something that I've already said, I like that farmer market idea, and I like that idea to bring the community together. And I think there's a festival coming up in August, which is great. Which we all should go and see. Something like that. Yeah, I think that's good for the community.
So more events, more markets.
Yeah, local.
Mikey. I think because you mentioned a community centre or theatre, I think this space behind you, that's going to be a community centre, and it's partly a library and partly a space. So would you say more theatre performances or something like that?
Yeah, it could be like local support for like artists, like even like exposure of the photographs and stuff like that. So basically support of the local artist community, yeah.
And is that something that you would get involved in? Like, are you an artist? So you take pictures of?
Not an artist, but I'm interested in art. So, you know what I mean? I'll probably attend an event like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see local artists and what they do and what they, yeah.
Because I think there's quite a few artists around here as well. Kind of.
Yeah, I used to love it, but I kind of got bored of it. Yeah. I don't know. It just took ages to progress.
It took too long. Okay. What about Nate? Are you interested in art?
I love art. Art is the best.
Thank you so much.
Like sketching and sketching.
It's a bit sketchy.
Sort of.
Okay, so maybe it's a bit like Nathan. About around here, any interest in art?
I like art. Do you know what? I like all sorts of arts, but I'm kind of thinking that people are kind of almost, you know, these fountains over there. People go and play in the fountains, and they almost look like dancers because they just stood there like watching them for a little bit, and people were just like so engrossed. It was like a dance performance. I don't know if they knew they were kind of performing dance, but I quite like to see some movement, you know, something out of ordinary.
Yeah, I I think it is, definitely. I like this idea of sketching. Like, where I was on Monday, they had a chalkboard, and you could just sketch for free. Like, would that be an idea? Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you enjoy that?
Yeah, I would.
What would you sketch?
I'll sketch a bird.
A what?
A bird.
A bird. Ooh, a woodpecker.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, you like the woodpeckers. Okay.
Crows.
Ravens.
COVID safe, obviously.
I want to be on TV. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So anyway, where are we going to go with this conversation? What do we want to talk about? Where do we want to take it?
The beach.
The what? The
beach.
Could there be a beach here in?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Every time it's
Come and have a seat.
by the lake.
We've got some new people here, so let's just find out.
By the lake.
Let's find out who they are. So we have got. It's all right. This is working.
100 bands in this area.
Hello.
Yeah. But anyway, let's just get some names. And what are your names?
My name is Shivani.
Abhi.
What's it?
Abhi. A-B-H-I. Yeah.
Abby.
Abby, yeah.
Abby and Shivana. We've got Sinead. We've got Aaron. We've got Nathan. We've got Margot, Georgia, and Ellen. And I'm Mikey. I really got that one wrong, but I'm Mikey.
I'm Mikey.
We're talking about Nate likes drawing, and he would like huge boards, chalkboards or sketch pads in this square to draw birds, like the crows and the ravens.
Okay.
So that's where we are right now. We're just kind of talking about what kind of activities, what would actually spice up this square and this area and make it a bit more lively. Go on, yeah. Oh, we got.
Having getting basketball courts, like basketball hoops. Yeah.
What, here in the square or to the side of the square?
Like here in the square.
Okay, so basketball.
Like to the side.
You like that idea?
We like to watch. We don't play much.
Okay.
Yeah, some stalls like this, like can it be made a permanent sort of thing?
Like when-
Okay,
food
so
stall.
more events really, more things going on.
Yeah.
Nate, join in on this one.
I would like in this square to spice it up like swimming pools.
Okay, swimming pools.
That we can actually swim in.
Okay, so you like the idea of swimming, either a beach or a swimming pool?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. All right. Yeah, go on.
I was just gonna ask, are you learning to swim, or can you swim?
I can swim, but not in very deep places.
Okay, so you can swim. Hands up here, so show of hands who can swim.
Okay, that's good.
Everyone can swim.
Can you swim?
So we wouldn't need to worry about having a lifeguard or something? No, none of that. Okay.
Okay, so swimming is very big. Is there where's the nearest pool?
No.
There's no pool.
Can you swim in that lake?
No, you can't.
But why? Is
Yeah,
it because
because-
it's dirty? Is it because of birds and stuff? It's dirty.
I mean,
Because
You
like
can
there's
make an-
seagulls and you shouldn't be swimming in there because it's dirty as well.
Oh, shucks.
you could probably filter it.
You think you could clean it up and make it swimmable?
Yeah. And then kind of not make it deep so people can't drown.
Okay.
Do you have any idea?
I've got a feeling I might need a headset. Anyway, where are we going to go with this conversation? What should we talk about? Abby, Shivani, what would you like to talk about at the moment so far? We're going to have some Ellen, in a second. Just tell us what we talked about so far, because you're so good at remembering. Yeah, just give us that.
So yeah, wow, we started off talking about paper flowers and what, maybe we could have like a garden made out of paper flowers somewhere here. Is there enough flowers and colour? in this area. And then we spoke about bees, you know. Should we have bee houses on the roofs of these buildings? What kind of personality does a bee have? Do we need to see more animals around here? There's some horses, apparently next to the lake. Who owns them? What do horses eat, you know? Can we buy a horse? Apparently it's £15 to buy a baby horse. We also spoke about aliens. In 2012, apparently a UFO, UFOs are now known as UAPs, but one of them flew across here in 2012. So, you know, but how would we greet an alien? How do we greet people who we've just met? What's unique about this area? Apparently quite a lot of people are moving into the area, but what's nice about it? Is it the fact that it's quiet? You know, is it the fact that there's a lot of greenery? But is there enough shops around here? Is there enough supermarkets? So yeah, as you can tell, we've spoken about a broad range of topics. Yeah, but how long have you been living in the area? Ah, you just moved in. And what are some of your first impressions? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hang on, Shivani. Let me just turn you up so we get this on captured. Go on, say again.
No, I was mentioning we like the greenery and obviously the views of lake.
Yeah.
So that's what we found very interesting. And we saw in the brochures that there will be more vendors on the square.
Yeah.
So we would like to see more market kind of stuff here within the vicinity.
We also spoke about what kind of things people would like to see in some of the shops. What kind of things would you like to see in some of the shops?
I mean, for us, I'd like to have a coffee shop.
A coffee shop.
That is a very popular thing, a coffee shop. But it's got to sell ice cream as well. Is that not right? Yeah.
Yeah, coffee and ice cream, yes.
Coffee
definitely.
and ice cream.
Definitely, that has to be here.
Yeah, everybody loves ice cream. Is that true? Do you love ice cream?
We do. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so it's got to be some kind of coffee shop. That is a definite.
What about coffee flavored ice cream?
Yeah.
Oh.
Interesting. Or ice cream flavored coffee?
Yeah. Okay, what's better, coffee flavored ice cream or ice cream flavored coffee? That was an easy one.
Ice cream flavored coffee.
Okay, so where are we going to go with this conversation? I just want to say this Peter who saw the UFO just drew a picture of it to show people what it looked like. So that's a bit of extra information there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, where do we want to go with this this conversation? Do we want to talk about the shops still? Yeah, go on.
Just coming around here, it's a bit grey, isn't it? Like, I'm just looking at the buildings and it's very grey. It's very concrete. Maybe I need to take a walk over and look at the canal there. But
do you think
in the library? I mean, it's a library, but it doesn't really feel like I'm going to walk in that library and feel inspired.
Oh, thank you.
But you know, it does lighten up in the evening. So they have blue lights, which gets turned on in the evening and looks very beautiful in the evening.
Okay, so. In nighttime is when it really
nighttime
comes
it's more colourful than it's in day. Yeah.
Oops, it's the
I don't know.
wrong way
I kind of feel like maybe the lake looks quite nice at nighttime as well.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so the colour comes out at night more.
At nighttime, you know.
But what about during? What do you think? Does there need to be more colour here? Nate, you'd say yes?
Yeah. No, I agree. We need more colour.
Yeah, more colour. Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of? I mean, we started off actually. One of the early comments was about this wind turbine. Could that be more colourful? But what other things could be colourful here in this square?
I think some of these grey concrete paving stones.
Could you paint them?
That's what I think.
Okay, Nathan.
Maybe we could have an artwork like being done.
Oops, what? Go and say that again, Abby.
The artwork that is being done around the area.
Yeah.
So maybe we could have some.
So a bit more colourful artwork.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting a little bit of a gust coming through here. Nathan, talk to me.
You should add some decorations, like more decorations.
What sort of decorations have you got in mind?
Footballs. Footballs, yeah.
So decorations
football
like,
pitch, yeah.
So football themed decorations.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. What we're talking about at the moment, maybe you want to join in on this one. All right, very, very quickly. Is this square or the area colourful enough? And what could make it more colourful? No. Okay, yeah, go on. Tell us what could make it more colourful.
More flowers and colours and stuff.
Okay. Have you got any... Are you off? Give us a final thought before you go.
Oh, yeah. Well, what?
just about, you know, what is the important conversation here? What do we need to be talking about? You know, what do you think of the things that have been said so far? All these kind of things. What kind of shops do you want to see apart from a cafe, which we know? Let's sit down so we get it into the microphone. Sorry, go. Giovanni?
Like you said, maybe something to do with more fitness
Yeah.
stuff, like gym or something.
Okay.
So we see a lot of kids playing here, but yeah, we would.
For adults, yeah.
Okay, so the adults need to be fitter, more healthy. Okay, more fitness stuff for adults. Okay, well, thanks very much. Thank you for that final thought.
Thank you.
Where are we going to take this conversation? Are you going to join in? What's that moment we're talking? Have you seen a UFO? Have you ever seen a UFO in Thamesmead? Apparently, there's one that nearly landed in 2012. And it looked, where's the piece of paper gone? It looked like this. Peter drew it. It looked like that, but white. I think it's just on a yellow piece of paper. But it went over the marshes apparently, and then it just disappeared. So was Peter the only one who saw it? Did other people see it? Okay, so that's some of the things that. What sort of shops do we need to see here? A vegan store, okay. What would it sell? Okay. Okay, are you a vegan? No. There's a lot of yeah. We had a vegan burger just now, so yeah, it was good. It was good. It was all right. Yeah. What do you think? What sort of shops do we need to see? A newsagents? Let me come to you, Will. Go on.
Maybe you need a fishing shop because there's a big lake there. Don't
A
need to go to
fishing
fish,
shop?
but maybe like a fishing shop.
Like, what are you angling for?
I'm just trying to reel in some new business.
Okay, so where are we going to go with this conversation? Aaron, where do you want to take the conversation?
Are you a vegan, Aaron?
No. Okay. There seems to be a lot of vegans about though, which surprised me. Ellen, did you have something to say?
Oh, I was just curious about has the amount of vegans around here grown? Oh, you're vegan? Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Yum yum, that's tasty.
Is it easy to be vegan in Thamesmead?
Is it easy to be vegan in Thamesmead? Good question, Margot.
Yeah, it's good. It's easy.
Is it? Yeah. Are there more vegetarians than vegans in the area these days?
Probably most likely, because I feel like it's shut up. It's mostly, I would say it's more like meat people than vegetarian than probably vegan.
Yeah.
I find it so much easier to be vegetarian than vegan.
Okay, so it's easy to be vegetarian than vegan, but going in that direction. Okay, I mean, is that going to be the future? Vegan? Are we going into a vegetarian future?
Don't think so.
Not sure. Okay, we're not sure about that one. Okay, well, so where are we going to take this conversation?
Yeah,
Ellen, help me out here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, it would be good to see more like, you know, vegan cafes popping up around here. You know, maybe the coffee shop could be solely vegan. You know, why not?
What do people think about that? A vegan or a vegetarian coffee shop? Would that work in Thamesmead?
Would that work in Thamesmead?
You say
Slightly
no.
not?
No, I don't.
No.
No.
But I mean, it's a coffee shop. It's like.
Yeah. Is
It
coffee
can't be
vegetarian?
Well, it could be vegan. It could be like.
Yeah,
But I
okay.
I feel like maybe people like when they see the word vegan or vegetarian, they're like, "Oh, that's not going to taste nice." No, but yeah.
Okay.
They
So
might-
people
they
get a
might
bit put
judge.
off by the vegan thing. There's a point over here. Georgia, come on, talk to me.
I just wanted to ask why. Why do we need more? Why would you want vegan stuff?
Why would you go for vegan?
Yeah, or vegetarian.
What is the thing about? Why is everyone turning
why
vegan?
is everyone going vegan?
Well, everyone has
Yeah.
different like reasons of why
Okay.
they became it. So.
People have got different reasons. Give us an example of one reason.
They
Animals?
don't want to killing animals. Shut
Okay.
up!
Okay, what, Aaron? Were you going to say something
Don't
there?
even give me a chance.
This don't work.
I know, it's because I've got to turn you up. Yeah.
Oh.
Whoa,
Jesus.
Too loud.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got a point.
Yeah.
Why are people turning vegan? Aaron, why are people turning vegan?
Because they don't like animals getting hurt.
Okay, so it's about the
I've got a
animals
question
getting
here.
hurt. There's been a lot of love for animals actually today. There's been the spiders, there's been the horses, there's been the birds.
Meow.
There's been, Nathan, let me come to you. Go on.
My name is Jamal. People have different
Joshua,
tastes.
sorry, Joshua. No, Nathan, it's Nathan,
People have different tastes.
People have different tastes, so it's about diversity as well.
No, I've got one.
Yeah? Go. Okay, Lauren?
No, sometimes people they just stop liking the taste of meat and they just think, I'm going to go vegan or vegetarian.
Okay, so it's also about the taste of meat, okay? Yeah.
And maybe because they're too fat, so they want to go on diet.
Okay. Too fat. Well, I mean,
Thank
other
you,
people have
Bruce.
said about the fitness of the people in the community. Could the community be fitter? And maybe veganism is a way there to get. Go on, Ellen.
I know this is sort of changing the point a bit,
Yeah,
but I still
that's what
think
we
that
like.
library is a bit dry. I don't know. It doesn't
Yeah.
really look like a place that I want to walk in
Yeah.
and learn. It just looks very
Okay,
closed.
it doesn't look inviting.
Sterile.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm just not feeling it. I mean,
You're
what
not
are
feeling the
those dots
library?
on the outside?
They light up.
No
they light
disrespect.
up to
Oh, has
colours.
that got the blue?
That's
But
gonna
why
go
is
with
it blue? Why can't it be another colour?
Okay.
If you think about it, at night it does look really good, but no one's going to go there at night.
Okay, so it's more of a nighttime thing, basically.
I don't think it looks like a library. I'd say
What does it look like to you?
A
It's a little party place. I don't know.
It looks more like what, like a
Jail.
nightclub?
Yeah, it just
Okay.
don't look like a library.
Could it be the world's first library nightclub? Maybe.
No, that would be sick, like a study club.
Okay, let me just come to Georgia. Margot?
Yeah, apropos, on the subject of this library, I agree, it just looks a bit grey. But, people tend to kind of wear similar clothes. Okay, I'm wearing red today. But normally people, wear pretty subdued colours. But then suddenly you saw this bunch of people who walked past. There was a lady who was wearing, flowers. She's really standing out. And I really think that maybe amongst all these different flats and buildings, we just need this library to stand out. Throw some flowers on it. Throw something eye-catchy.
Okay, so could you brighten up the
Dress it up.
Brighten up the library a little bit? I don't know. It's an interesting point. Does it need to stand up? Does it look like a nightclub, this library? Nathan, come in, yeah. Go on.
I thought the library was like a shop because it's so big.
Okay. Does it need to look like a library? Is it important whether it looks like a library?
What does it look like? What does library look like anyway?
Yeah, what does a library look like?
There used to be a library over there, I think. Sadly, my
Okay, the library was over there, I know, because we went on our sat-nav over there to the old library.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Go on. Hang on, let me just turn you up a bit. Go. Hang on, the wrong one. Yeah, go on.
I know what to add. A beach near the lake.
A what?
A beach near the lake.
So you
I
like
love
this
this
beach
idea, actually,
The
yeah.
beach, everyone likes a beach idea.
Just a quick point. Life's a beach.
Life's a beach.
Yeah. Life is really beachy for me today, I have to say, because it's so sunny and I just feel so energized. But the thing I was trying to say, when you go on holidays, like a beach holiday, you kind of lie down on the sand and read. Can the library be out on the beach?
Okay, so could it be a beach library? That's interesting. Come, if you're just listening, come and sit down and listen. We'll get your name. What do you? There's a few subjects on the table at the moment. Oops, wrong one. And there's a few subjects on the table. We got. We got. Is it Hasnat? Hasnat. We got Hasnat. We got Aaron. We got Nathan. We have got Inam. We have got Lauren. And we've got Frankie and Ellen and Georgia and Margot, and I'm Mikey. And we've got Will just fussing around. Tell us your name. Let's get some names. So tell us your name first. Lynn, welcome. What do you think? Is life a beach, and should we have a beach here? Could you have a reading beach? So that's one of the questions. And let's just get the names of these people here on the back row. Just shout out your name there. Steve, and who have we got here on the chicken? Amina.
Hi.
Elijah. Elisha. Okay. So we're talking about, does this area need more colour? Some people have said yes. Some people have said, well, it's got enough colour when at night time. Does a library need to look like a library? These are some of the things.
No.
Go on, Ellen.
But I can barely even work out what it's like. It's not very accessible.
Okay.
I can't even read that. It says library there.
Okay, what is it? Does it say library?
It says the Nest Community and Library Building. Okay,
You've
yes,
got
I read it
good-
quite clearly.
You've got good eyesight. I don't know where it says that, but
Not everybody's got this eyesight though.
yeah, I can't see it. I can't see that at all. Hasnat.
You know the computers in the library.
Yeah.
Are they used for playing Fortnite?
Okay. Can you play computer games? I don't have a Fortnite sound effect, do I? Obviously. I don't know. Let's go to Nathan and Inam. Inam, you've not said much, so let's hear from you.
If there was a beach near the lake, I would definitely not go to it. What Hassan said, there has to be. I would not go to it. First of all, because who wants to swim in a dirty lake? I mean, then I've thought, yeah,
But there's been a lot of speculation about could you actually clean up the lake and turn it into a beautiful crystal clear. Would you swim in it if it was clean?
Yeah, I would swim in it if it was clean. I would agree,
Yeah.
but it's too dirty.
Okay.
I can see all the dirty.
All right.
Because I feel like, you know the fountain, I thought it was like, it cleans it, then goes up.
Okay, so is the fountain actually doing a bit of cleaning there? Whoa, what happened there?
It's not cleaning because it's filtered.
Okay, it's filtered. Okay. There's a couple of points at the back there. Come hit me with your points.
Oh, I was just going back to this library thing.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to disassemble this library thing because there's loads of libraries that are popping up in London and they all look like this.
Okay,
and I
so
just
you
wonder
don't like
what does a library look like?
Yeah, I mean, what do you think about the look of the library?
I definitely think it doesn't advertise that it's a library.
Okay.
Like even earlier when the lady came, she was doing the tour. She said the first thing she said was it's got great views. There was no books like.
I don't think the books have come in yet. To be fair, they're not there yet. So maybe when you see all the books there, it will look like a library.
And they will supply the books.
Okay. And what kind of books do you reckon they'll be in?
Do I look like I'm an expert?
You're only one here with a lanyard.
It'll be the books that you get in your regular library, so it'll be a mixture.
I feel like Amina wants to say something. Aaron, can you just pass the mic along to Amina? Yeah, go on.
Thank you. Well, I think in regard to the design of the library, I think it's just amazing. You know, big up to the architects. The design is beautiful.
Okay.
And I think it just brings out the beauty of this place. It's really,
What do you like about the library design?
The design, the whole design, the shape and the lights at night.
So the lights, yeah. I mean, what do you say to people that say, oh, it doesn't? There's a few people that said it doesn't look like a library. Does a library need to look like a library, in your opinion?
I feel actually they made it more attractive.
Yeah.
And it's kind of inviting for people to just, to say what is in there, what kind of books.
Okay.
Or,
So it is inviting and it's kind of enigmatic as well, possibly.
Yeah.
There's a point over here from Margot, but I think Inam, you got a point. Have you got a point as well, Nathan? Because we didn't get your point last time. Go on.
A library doesn't really need to look like a library. I mean, unless you have books, then it's a library.
Okay, it just needs to have books. It doesn't need to look like a library. Okay, Nathan, did you have a point? Yeah, go on then.
In a library, it doesn't really need to look like a library because, unless if it has books, computers, because it needs technology and books, because it can't be a library without
Okay,
technology
so
and books.
you mentioned the technology as well. That's also important. Everyone's got their hand up. Let me go to Lauren. Did you want to say something as well, Frankie? No? Yeah, go on.
For some reason, I don't get why does the library have a balcony?
Okay.
I find that kind of weird. And also, you know the park?
Yeah.
I feel like it's a bit kind of dangerous for toddlers because it's not it's right next to a car park, which I find they could be pulled in, they would go somewhere and they could get run over.
Okay. Let's just ask the one person. I don't know if you'd call Elisha a toddler. Would you call him a toddler? Do you feel like the park is dangerous for toddlers? I'm not going to ask Elisha. I'll ask you, Amina. The park, yeah. Do you think it's dangerous for toddlers? Because Lauren is worried about it. So that's just one thing to park there, but there's a point at the back here, and there's a point from... where's Ellen? She's gone again. Oh, there, over there, yeah. She's moving around. Let's go to Margot, and then we'll go to Ellen.
I would be very interested to find out what is going on in the library, and also what are the latest recommendations of books, because like the lady said, you know, there may be all sorts of different ones, but I'm not sure whether I'd be interested in them. So I almost wonder, before I kind of go into the library, could there be some kind of like a screen or something that kind of like advertises, it tells you like what is going on in the library, or is there anything popping off on the balcony?
Okay, so could you have a screen there? I mean, it's a bit unfair to say really, because the library's not started up yet. But you mentioned as well, Nathan, didn't you, technology? So a library these days needs to have technology. Hang on a sec, Hasnat, because I need to come to Ellen, and then I'll come to you. Whoa, and then, go on, and then...
I mean, reports over the last 5 years or so have said that libraries are no longer in use. In fact, a lot of libraries where I live have closed down.
Right.
But I'm wondering, you know, does a library have to have books? Maybe you could have other things, like maybe we could borrow... You know, other objects, you know, like a drill.
Someone said Fortnite.
Yeah,
Could it have
Fortnite? Because I know, like, apparently, like, drills are... People buy drills, but they get used about, like, you know, they don't get used very much.
Okay, so like,
so maybe you could have like other things. It could be a library of things, which
a library
does
of tools, like drills.
A library of tools.
What other tools would you put in there?
I would probably. Oh, I really needed a. What do you call it?
Drill bits.
What's that hand saw? That
cappuccino machine.
Circular saw. I really needed a circular saw, but I didn't want to buy it. So definitely a circular saw would be good.
Okay, so tools like a circular saw and a drill, a coffee machine maybe. Okay, so where are we going to go with this? What would you put in the library if it doesn't have to be books? Hang on, a barber.
This is Fortnite?
A barber, like where you cut people's hair, yeah. Could you have a library of haircuts? Could you have a library of haircuts? Okay. We've got a point from Nathan, then we're going to come to Frankie. What's that?
Fortnite theme tune, I think.
Oh, that's the Fortnite theme tune. I wondered what that was. Was a point from Nade. Go on.
Sounds horrible.
Go on, what's your point?
You could add, it doesn't have to be quiet in the library.
It doesn't have to be quiet.
It doesn't have to be quiet in the library.
Okay, so that's a good point as well. Does it have to be quiet in the library? Come and take a seat. Come and get involved in this. We have got Lauren. We have got not anymore. We have got Nabe. We've got Nathan. We have got Alicia. We've got Amina. We've got Aaron. We've got Hasnat. I'm Mikey. We've got Margot and Georgia. Tell us your name.
Tell us what you're doing, because we don't.
Angela, welcome.
Yeah.
If you want to say something, just grab a mic.
Everyone's shy here.
Come and join in.
Everyone's super shy here.
Tell us your name.
Okay, I'm Winston Davis, and I'm the neighbourhood manager
for
the site. Once everyone moves in, they will come to me if they've got any queries or issues or directions from Peabody. So I'm here during the interim until we get a permanent, which may be me, we don't know.
Yeah.
So that's it. Yes.
So what do you do? What do you
well, my role
do?
will be to any queries you've got or residents have got, regards to their property, repairs, any general inquiry they have, issues, antisocial behaviour, whatever. They can come to myself because I'll be based on site. Or they can go directly to our customer care line. But I'm here to be based on site to help anybody at all with any issues they may have.
Can I just ask you if you've got an opinion about the library?
Not at the moment, because I've been there once and it looks very nice. But I don't know much about it to give an opinion at the moment.
What we're talking about is what do we put in it? Do we just stick with books? Or Ellen over there has said we could put tools in it. Hasnat has mentioned there should be computer games such as Fortnite.
Well done, yes. No, it'd be a good community space for any community issues or queries or small gathering. Books, of course. It's a library, of course.
Okay. Can you just pass the mic to Will over there while you're there?
Yeah, I like the idea. Somebody at another Talkaoke session had mentioned about like a human library where you rent out a person and hear about their life story.
A human library?
Yeah, so like instead of books, it's people, and you can go in there and be like, do you know what? I'm going to choose Tom from Thamesmead today, and he's going to tell me about his life's journey. You book him out for 45 minutes. Then it might be, you know, Janet from Croydon, and you sit down with Janet and learn about her life story. And I like that idea, like bringing communities together, learning different stories, that sort of stuff.
Okay, human library. Angela, I feel like you like that idea. No, yeah, no.
I like it. I like it for like meeting room or
Yeah.
people getting together. Yeah.
Okay, so it could be a place where people get together. What sort of things will they be talking about? Will they be doing?
No, community projects.
Yeah.
Or, you know, bringing the needs of the community into the community.
Yeah, actually, so bring it in. Actually, get it there where the issues are happening. Yeah. Okay.
So that's a hub.
Let me just come to Nathan.
A library doesn't have to be like quiet unless if you're wearing a headset because it wouldn't disturb others.
Whoa, I've got it all up too loud. Talking about not quiet. I mean, could you have this Talkaoke in the library?
Huh?
Could you have this in the library, or is it too noisy?
It wouldn't be too noisy unless if you're wearing a headset.
Okay, Hasnat.
To add more football shoes and footballs and a football pitch.
Okay, so you could actually have a library of kits and a library of different trainers. What about that? Could you have a trainer instead of a Sports Direct? Maybe you could have like all different kits and trainers in the library. Could that work as a way of bringing people into the library? Because that's what. Yeah, go on.
I think you should add like a stadium to the library.
Okay. Okay, so a stadium in the library. But I just want to sort of pick up on this. And we've got a new face as well. So tell us your name.
Hey, I'm Pablo. I'm the head of neighborhoods for the South region. I work for Peabody.
Okay, well, at the moment we're talking about what should we put in the library apart from books.
Apart from books.
Yeah, and
let's get some people in there.
Could you have a library of tools, for example, like power tools, drills, saws, or could you have like sports equipment, like footballs and trainers and different kits? What football kits would you put in the library that you could loan out?
Like Champions League balls.
Okay, so the Champions League football kits you could potentially loan out. Get us a point here from Ellen.
I mean, a lot of people have spoken about the lack of sport facilities around here, so maybe you could like hire out those little cones. I remember using those cone things
you could actually
PE
borrow the
and
cones,
stuff, borrow the
or like
cones and the other sort of sport paraphernalia.
some
that
portable
I don't
goals
know.
or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Aaron.
I think we should change the library into a sports museum.
Okay, a sports museum. Why?
Because
And what are you going to say to these
Thinking
Peabody
outside the
people?
box, I like it.
They spent a lot of time and effort making the library.
Sorry about that.
How would you convince them to say no, it needs to be a sports museum?
A lot of people like sports and fitness, so I think it will be a good idea.
Okay, so maybe it could be a sports museum. I'm going to come to you in a second, Ellen. Let's go to Margot, if you can just pass that mic.
Sure.
And then maybe we'll hear from Pablo, and what was it again? And Winston, about could some of these ideas actually be implemented?
I was just wondering because I cycle a lot, and what I often do, which probably I shouldn't be doing, is that I listen to podcasts and like audiobooks when I cycle.
Okay.
And I wonder whether we could have like, you know, a game of football, but like play some kind of like an audiobook from the library to kind of play instead of music, instead of crowd sounds. So people are playing and they are learning something, and they're reading a book.
Okay, so
you're doing two in one.
Wow, okay, that's an interesting point. That's a really interesting point. Could you actually learn and play football at the same time by listening to an audiobook? Ellen, back to you. Come on.
Quickly say, I know you said that there could be like a sports museum there, but I'm wondering, the Olympics is happening now. Are there any sort of famous Olympians from Thamesmead that, you know, maybe they could have a little
any famous
Hall of
Olympians,
Fame in the
famous
library or
sports
something,
people?
you know?
Angela, do you know anyone? No.
Any famous footballers from Thamesmead?
Is there anyone
There must
famous
be
from
someone.
Thamesmead? We'll have to Google that one, I think. I'll get. Oh, well, I've got my computer here. You're gonna go. You Google it and find out. Okay. We've got a new face, so welcome. What's your name? Go. Let me just turn you up first. Kessel. Tessa. Tessa.
I just want to suggest something for the library. You guys said like what could be there other than books. How about like writing facilities?
Yeah,
For
writing.
those
Yeah.
interested in like poetry and literature in general, like say like young people, they want to maybe go write an article, write a book, write a speech, write poetry. Like they can find a place in the library to like help them.
Okay, you're getting a round of applause for that one. Are young people interested in poetry? What about? Are you interested in poetry?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, a bit.
Are you interested in poetry, Hasna?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. Okay. Aaron.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay. So you could potentially have a poetry school there or a writing school. Where do we want to go with this conversation? Do we want to talk about playing football or learning while you play football? Do we want to talk about what else could go in the library? Do we want to talk about poetry and writing? It's up to you. This is Talkaoke. It's up to you. Where do you want to take this conversation? It's up to you. Where do you want to take this? What's the big subject here?
Maths.
Yeah, go on, Nathan.
Adding more decorations and objects in the library.
Okay, so you decorating again. What would you put in there?
Balloons.
Balloons. Okay. Yeah, go on, Margot.
I know one of the things that we were kind of talking about earlier is that, sorry, a type of public art that can go here in the square. And I was just kind of thinking in my head, could there be a public sculpture of a balloon? Could you have a statue of a balloon?
It's funny you should say that, because I think there is a public sculpture of a balloon, isn't there? Or something like that. Will, go on.
Yeah, I was just going back to something I think Winston mentioned earlier about you're the first port of call for people here if they have a problem or an issue. And I was just wondering, what is any of the questions that people have, the residents have, and maybe we can solve some of them here,
Okay,
just sort of putting them out, solve the problem, start mending. Not to put you on the spot, Winston, I apologise.
I'm going to come to Winston in a second, but I just want to go to Kessa first. Go on.
Could you also add creative facilities in the library? So let's say people don't have the facilities to paint at home, and they want to kind of get in touch with their creative side. Can they go there?
It's funny you should say that, because people were talking about this earlier. Young people were talking about this earlier on, that they like to do art and drawing. Where's Nabe? He's gone now, but Nabe said that he likes drawing. So that is definitely, I think there is a flow for that, for sure.
And I remember, sorry, I don't want to point, but I remember Margot was saying something about she listens to podcasts.
Yeah.
Do you think it could be possible you have a podcast of the day or of the week where it's played out loud?
Could you play out a podcast? Okay.
Podcast booth, maybe. Yeah.
A podcast booth. Okay. Let's go over to let's go to Georgia first. You're gonna have to pass that mic over. But we will come to Winston and find out.
We're going to go to Winston in a bit.
What the word on the street is.
So I'm just jumping off what Will was saying, and this whole library of things and whatever. Do you reckon we could have a library of questions, from the local community, questions that they want to pose to? I don't know, anything that they've got, and then it would maybe go into this podcast.
Hang on a sec, Nathan.
I'm not sure. We need a last thought from you, Nathan.
Let's
if you're
get a
going to
final
go.
thought from you. Go on. What do you think about this idea of a library of questions? What else would you put in the library? There's all these things. What about the point from Kessa about creativity?
Yeah.
Is there enough space to express your creative self, either on the football pitch or on the canvas or on the dance floor?
You should add quizzes.
Quizzes?
Yeah.
Okay, so quizzes, that's what you'd like to see. Is that your final thought?
Yeah.
Thank you. Are we going to get a final thought from you, Aaron? Okay, so let's get a final thought.
I think there should be more sports areas, because everyone around here enjoys sports.
Yeah. That has been said a lot. Come and get involved in this if you want to. We're talking about what kind of things do we need to see in Thamesmead? And what's the word on the street? Is there enough creativity here? Hasnat, if you're going to go, give us a final thought. But at the same time, we're going to get your names in a minute. Let's just get a final thought from Hasnat first.
To paint the floor.
Paint the floor. What colour?
Any colour.
Okay, any colour. So you'd like to see a bit of a brighter floor. Okay, so we've got some new faces. So let's just recap. We've got Georgia, we've got Angela, we have got Amina, and that's Elisha just wandering off there. We've got Kessa, we've got Ellen, we've got Margot, we have got Pablo and Winston. And I don't know if I said Georgia or not, but I probably did. And tell us your names. Come onto mic 1 and tell us your names.
This is mic 1?
Yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm Gabriel and she's
Alina.
What was it?
Alina.
Okay, welcome. So at the moment we're sort of talking, what do we want to see here? A lot of people have said, not just Hasnat, a lot of people have said more colour. they want to see more colour. They like the flowers, they like the lighting up of the library, but is there enough colour here? And it probably goes onto your creativity thing as well. It makes it a more creative thing. What would you like to see? Have you got any thoughts, or do you just want to listen to see what other people are saying?
I just finished carrying tens of boxes moving in.
Okay, so you just arrived today?
Yes, yeah, I just moved in today.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you. Yes, Swift Court. Yeah.
Okay, so welcome. So you probably don't know that much about the area, but it's more first impressions for you. But what made you decide to come to this area?
Well, I checked out the development a few months ago, and I liked it. So we just...
You just liked it? You've got a good feel for it?
Yeah. Definitely a lot of potential for this area.
Would you like to see more colour here?
More colour wouldn't be bad. Definitely, yeah.
Okay. Obviously, it's early days for you, but let's go to Ellen. We do need to go and find out the word on the street, but we don't want to put off Gabrielle and Alina. So
this is just a quick one. This is just a report from my Google search about famous people from the area. But according to Google, there's no notable famous people from Thamesmead, as it was just built in the 1970s.
Okay.
So it's only recently they've seen a growing in population. So there might be some famous people amongst us now. You know, I don't know.
Future famous.
Future famous, but none right now.
Okay. Could it be some of the people we talked to today? Where do we want to go this week? Find out. Margot, have you got a quick point, and then we'll find out the word on the street from Winston.
I was just wondering about the creativity and colour, and maybe like people saying what they think, whatever. I'm thinking about these like high rises, and I wonder whether there could be something, because one of the guys said about putting colour on the floor, and I wondered whether there could be like messages on this floor, like ever changing, for the people who live upstairs, just to kind of look down on and just like, oh, there's a pattern, there's a new pattern every month, or a new message every month.
So what I'm picking up from that is a kind of like Michael Jackson style disco floor that sort of lights up in different patterns. Okay. Ellen.
I know, back to me, but I moved into a new build. I've probably been there about 5 years now.
Really? You've been there 5 years?
About 5 years, new build. So it was really strange, like having new people moving, just having like all of these new people moving in at the same time. But what's quite nice is that there was a lot of like artworks, like in collaboration with like local artists and the residents.
Yeah.
So it was just quite nice, like having that collaborative process with your neighbours and artists to sort of like, create artworks that's going to last a very long time for decades.
So you actually got involved.
So it's like you're kind of creating memories for like a new space, which I thought was quite nice.
So you actually got involved in the making of the artwork yourselves as residents. That's an interesting thing. Would any of the people that live here, would you get involved in? Would you, Gabrielle, Alina, would you get involved in helping make an artwork?
I would definitely get involved in helping, but I'm not very artsy, so whatever I would create wouldn't be much good, I'm afraid.
Yeah, okay, but you definitely input on that.
Yes,
Yeah, and what about you, Amina? Would you get involved? Grab that mic, because it's gone a little bit askew,
Like you, I'm not artistic. However, I've got a son who is very artistic. He's nearly 18 years old, so he would be more than happy to get involved. He's at work at the moment. He would have been
okay.
Near us,
Right. So you do think that he would like to get involved in creating an artwork?
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. So you think it's a good idea, Angela?
Between the areas. So we need more trees and more green spaces. They're very small. The new bit that they've built.
Yeah.
I'm already a resident here.
Yeah.
And,
have you lived here for a while?
Yeah. And I've noticed that all of this is like, it's a bit too much.
Yeah.
We need, and this is lovely, but it's not enough.
Yeah. So it's a nice little patch here, but you want to expand that a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And trees, bring them up, bring it up. Let's
get
some more.
Okay, so a bit more tree action happening.
Green,
although trees don't really do action. Georgia,
they do because they have birds and they encourage.
Okay, so there is actually
wildlife.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just wondering, I'm looking around and there's lots of development in terms of houses, it looks like. Could you incorporate the trees into the housing? Because there's a lot of work.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know, I don't know, maybe like a
hot
tree
box?
house. I don't
What, a
know,
tree
or you know, like I don't know where in Japan they're doing like lots of like green houses.
Right,
They're
so
building
actually,
these.
have trees in the
Like you have the
buildings.
gardens on the
Yeah.
top, and then
Yeah.
they have all these systems in place and architecture where you can, the rain that falls, it
Yeah.
waters the plants. Could you do
Right.
something like that? Like
Could you have
incorporate the
actual
trees that way?
in the block?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it's
Okay.
called, but yeah.
Okay, good point
To Elam
there.
again, and then to Winston.
Elam.
You know, just following up on what Georgie said, there's a lot of like plants, which trailing plants, which actually don't damage the buildings. I think ivy is one of them. You can really grow it up the side of a building, but it just really adds that. Oh, okay, maybe ivy is not one of them. Then
Ivy is
not. I'm just talking nonsense. Oh wow! So you've clearly got some expertise in the gardening area.
Yeah.
But I think there's some training plants you can kind of grow on the side of buildings that don't actually damage them. Maybe that could be something that could be done. But also as well, one thing but with my new build that I noticed that sort of I just realised it wasn't very warm. It was all very square. And I realised with my old estate, there were so many like rounded arches, rounded corners, and I think that's what's missing from a lot of new builds. There's
It's
not
all
enough.
too square.
Yeah, they sort of the architecture is too square. There's not enough like rounded shapes. So maybe if there's going to be a new green space, they could sort of create like a rounded, something curved. You know,
Okay,
just
do we need
I don't
more
know. There's just
curves?
something about that that's warm.
Okay, more curves. You're definitely, Angela, you're definitely agreeing with that one. Let's have a show of hands. Who thinks we need more curves? Maybe Pablo saying yeah.
For nature, there's never a straight line in nature.
Yeah.
But all this man-made is
It's all
very
too square. Could you somehow curve it up a little bit? I don't know how that would work.
Not
but-
once it's there, I think, but you could maybe think about it beforehand.
Yeah, okay. It's probably a bit late, but what about painting it in curvy lines or something like that? Could you do that to actually?
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I do think that the greenery would soften it all.
Yeah. Okay, so greenery would actually break it up a little bit. Is Thamesmead too square? That's what we're talking about at the moment. Margot.
On the subject of growing things and maybe just distorting the straight lines a little bit, I thought maybe we could grow some runner beans because they can go on and on and on.
Could
and
the runner beans go all the way up the building?
Hopefully, or maybe like stagger it a bit so then everybody can get a bit of a bean, and maybe one of them's going to
and
be
then
a
we
magical
could have a
bean.
little market here
Yeah.
to sell our tomatoes and beans and peas.
Yeah.
Regular farmers market.
Yeah, you like. Hang on a sec. We're getting some endorsement from Gabrielle about the farmers market. You think that would be a good idea?
Yeah, I said a regular farmers market event would be awesome.
And
Twice
what about-
weekly would be brilliant.
Would you get involved in growing beans and tomatoes?
If I was given a plot of land
Yeah.
somewhere on the development, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's all about having the plot to actually. Yeah. I might be losing the plot a little bit, so it might be time to have a change of host. But let's just get a comment from Margot.
I just want to switch the perspective a little bit.
Yeah.
I've noticed that Thamesmead is quite famous for swans, and I wonder how do swans kind of feel about everything that's going on. I don't know, obviously we don't have any kind of sitting around a table now, but I mean, what do swans make out of this development?
I
and
mean,
stuff?
what about the
Is it swan
bird?
friendly?
We talked earlier about bird life, but it's more about the crows.
Crow's feet.
Yeah. We talked about crows yesterday, didn't we?
Oh,
no,
yeah.
day before
Whenever
yesterday.
it was,
but yeah, so crows are big. But rest assured, I forgot to do this joke yesterday. Rest assured, it's COVID safe. Anyway, maybe it is. I think it is time to get a change of host. And Will's just he's heeded the call. But we're going to keep the conversation going. Going to keep it live. Maybe just to help it out. Maybe it's now time to hear from Winston about what is the word on the street. What's going down in
Swans. Yeah, swans.
Yeah, swans are big.
Right. First of all, if I must let you know, any queries or information you got or repair issue, you must contact Peabody first of all directly.
That's you,
No,
basically.
even though I'm on the ground,
Okay.
you will still need to contact our customer care line.
Okay.
Because it needs to be logged. Whatever your query is, they can log it.
Even if it's like an unhappy swan.
If it's an unhappy swan, we can go and visit them and cheer them up.
Yeah,
Not a
okay.
problem at all. But if it's just redirection, information you may need, then you can come to me and I'll help you out on that.
Yeah.
If you're having problems with noisy neighbours, again, you go to Peabody Direct or come to see me and I'll redirect you.
Yeah.
It's more about communication, community, putting everyone together, making it joint up. You ask for anything on the ground, the main thing for us is that everybody is talking to each other. Neighbours are being neighbourly to each other. Any queries you have regards to your neighbour, you speak to them first.
Okay.
And then you come to me if you need to.
So you're trying to get a sense of neighbourliness.
Yes,
happening,
get everyone together as one.
Yeah, okay.
Really and truly. But any other information you may have, you do go to Peabody.
Okay. There's a couple of points from Margot and George, and then I'm going to just jump out.
So you jump out, but I don't know if it was just a slip of the tongue, but I quite like the word that you used, which was communication or something like that. So it's like communication.
Community communication.
Yeah, but you kind of conflated it into one word, and I quite like that because, that's all. It's just.
Okay, so let's just get the point from Georgia. I'm going to, in the meantime, jump out. Let's have a round of applause for Will. He's going to jump
And a round of applause for Mikey as well. Mikey on the mic. I just wanted to ask you, saying any kind of queries or grievances that people have, they come to you. Are people allowed to come to you if they've got something positive that they want to? And then how do you reckon that would be showcased? How would that be? How would people get to know, like, oh, I don't know, a neighbour was really kind to... so that would be a good idea. But would it be a good idea to let Peabody know as well if someone's particularly happy about something?
So is the question that... Does Winston need to feel the love a bit more? Is that what we're talking about? We get all
I'm just
the
trying to
problems,
generate...
but none of the love. That's what we're seeing.
I
We're
think...
all about the love that the people speak.
Swan love.
Swan love. All right, absolutely. Yeah, thank you
well done,
very much.
Margie. Thank you, Margot.
Before we carry on, new host, we got people around. We need to go around and get some names because I was too busy fiddling with the camera and not taking in the community spirit there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around the table, get a few names, introduce people, got some new faces at the table. We've got some old staples at the table as well, absolutely holding the conversation together. So let's whip it around and get some names. We're going to start over here. What's your name? Maria, nice to meet you. Steve, Amina and Elisha. You think you can sneak off? Even when I'm not looking at you, we've got eyes in the back of our head. Keep in focus. Give us a final thought.
Final thought, I hope the development will carry on as planned. In the brochure it looks lovely. If it turns out to look as good as it does in the brochure, I'll be happy. In terms of future things that I'd like to see happen with the place, I'd like to see the lake open for sailing and swimming in the not too far future, hopefully.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. Mikey's teaching me the water effects there. Absolutely. Keep the swimming going, get the sailing going. Thank you so much. We'll get a round of applause there. Pop by if you've got any more as well. Let's finish off with the names, though. I got sidetracked there. What's your name?
Angela.
Pardon? Angela. Lovely to see you. We've got Georgia. I know you on the side there. We've got Mikey, Winston, the man with a plan, coming there for the community. Absolutely. Pablo. Adriana, and on the camera we've got Ellen. I'm Will, this is Talkaoke, and we've been talking about a lot today, haven't we? We've gone from bees and nature to aliens, through to the library of people and books and places. Where do you want to go with this? We were last talking about Winston needing a bit of love from the people. He gets all the problems, none of the love, all right? So do we need like some more community feedback? Do we need people to feel the love more? George, you've got a view. I'm going to try and figure out the Roman mic, which is this one over there. Whoop, no. We're going forward, we're going Robin, we're going Robin.
This is completely off topic from what we've been talking about. But I've just been sitting here and I just had a burger from the wonderful kiosk there and I needed to throw my rubbish away, but I didn't want to leave the Talkaoke. I had to walk all the way over there. I know it's not very far, but it just seems like there wasn't that many bins. So I don't know if maybe we need a few more bins. Just
maybe that's a shout out
as a very small I don't
know. From us there. We need more bins. Do we need more bins in the communities? There are not enough bins in Thames Valley. What are we thinking? Angela, don't you sneak off quite yet. I need a final thought from you. You coming back? All right, as long as you promise you come back. I can see the smile under the mask. So what do you agree with, Georgia? Do we need more bins in the area? Is it clean enough? Is it not clean enough? What are people's thoughts? Pablo, you look like you're gearing up there, my man. What's going on? What's your thoughts?
I agree, yes. We got small bin over there, by the way. Like, I want one next to me, that's what it is.
Do we all need a personal bin, like attached to our hip? Is that what it is? Do we need a carrier bag?
We need a bin taker, so, you know, it's like, here you go, Winston, can you please take it to the bin for me?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe we need like
expand the remit.
Maybe we need to hire somebody that's just like a walk-around bin going, you got any rubbish? You got any rubbish? Give and take?
I mean,
maybe.
I thought there was quite a lot of bins in there. There's one there. There's one over there. There's one over there.
There's a couple.
It's subjective. That's what I think. That's what we're trying to say. Is like art. It's very subjective. Is there too many
They're
bins?
obviously like
It comes
on
down-
the sides, right? Rather than the centre. Hence why you had to walk so far away because there's
Yeah.
nothing around the middle. But I suppose, do we want it in the middle though? Because then that's like an obstruction. So.
I don't know. It's a good point. Do we need to? Do we like this open space? Do we need more things, or is it just going to be an obstacle? I mean, is this conversation a bit rubbish? Where do we go from it?
The one
I mean,
thing
what do we
the one
do?
thing I will say about cleanliness, so I have parking in the thing. I know that's completely separate to this
That's
part.
all right,
but
we go with it.
I've got the parking in the car park, and it's extremely dusty. Like it hasn't really been cleaned.
Okay.
So my car, I haven't cleaned it since I only moved in properly a week ago. But I've been moving back and forth from my parents' home. For the past month, and I haven't cleaned my car once because there's no point because I'm constantly making it dirty. My shoes, my floor mats just dusty because the car park just hasn't been. I don't know what they need to do. Wash it down or what they need to do. But
Winston, what's the plan here? Do we need to hit up a hotline here? Do we need to get on this dust problem?
Yeah, regards to that, I've seen this before, and I think it's a new build. There's still works being going on. You're going to get dust coming up there every now and again. Eventually, there will be a schedule of a deep clean down there, eventually. So that will hopefully pull out all the dust. But that will be every 6 months or every quarter once it's started. But at the moment, I think it's pointless doing it now. Unless it's extremely bad. Then we can do a one-off deep clean.
The car park was, I think, finished quite late in the whole process. So I think that's why.
Which one are you in? Which block? Which car park? Okay, I will put it out and I'll have a look at it.
Hey, look, we're getting solutions here at the table.
And we'll take it. In there. It's mine and someone else's. No one else has got their cars in there.
Oh,
yet. So it's
okay.
very empty. I think because it's so new.
I understand.
Maybe we kill two birds with one
That's
stone.
fine,
Maybe
not a
we
problem.
open up a car wash, clean the place,
I'll
get
look at
cars
it. I'll bring
clean.
it up next week and see what we can do in regards to that.
All right, we'll come to Mike. We're solving problems, we're making problems, we're addressing problems. That's what we're all about.
Earlier on in Hasnat was talking about painting the floor and painting patterns on the floor. Maybe it could be in the car park, and that would seal it, stop it from being dusty.
Maybe you get a chance to paint your own spot. If you could paint your own parking spot,
your own parking
what would you
spot.
paint it? I mean, what would you paint your spot? Would you paint it, or would you just keep it as it is, nice and dusty?
I wouldn't mind painting it. You never know.
I mean, is that something we want to do? Do we need more opportunities to have creative outlet, or are we quite happy with how things are? I mean, what about you, Adriana? Do you think you've got enough chance to be creative? Are you happy with your parking situation? Do you want more bins? I mean, what's on your mind? What have you taken from this so far?
Well, my life is living and breathing creative opportunities. We are actually working with some local residents to paint an artwork on the floor of the basketball court that's just down the road. So, we get the right artist on board for that. They'll come and paint your parking space for sure. No problem. We're commissioning new artwork for this square, in fact.
Oh wow! What's the plan?
The current plan is there's a former resident called Yinka who grew up in Thamesmead. He is recruiting 5 young people to basically come out and commission new artwork. So there will be a feisty group of 5 youngsters appointed by September. And they will then be talking to local residents and finding out what it is that they want to see in the square. And the new artwork will be in place hopefully by next summer.
So like local ambassadors, what title are you giving these to people? I like the feisty element of it.
Well, at the moment they're saying that they're going to create the first creative studio for Thamesmead. It will be up to them to decide their name.
Watch out, Google. Thamesmead is going to get some new celebrities coming to town. Ellen, you got a hand up. What's on your mind?
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I'm aware of the artist Yinka Ilori, right?
Different Yinka.
Oh, is it a different Yinka? Oh, okay. Because I mean, he's got beautiful. Oh, wow. I'm so curious. Okay. Because if it was the Yinka Ilori, then it's so colourful and wonderful.
Yeah, well, we did a thing with the Yinka Ilori thing in Wandsworth.
But is Yinka a particularly creative name? Because there's also the other artist that, Yinka Shonobara, yeah.
Yinka is the name of the decade. I'm going to pause because I'm going to go and do a tour of the library. I don't want to drag anybody away. But
Now,
if anybody was
it's okay to plug your own event, Adriana, I'll tell you, but you take my audiences.
If anybody wants to come and have a look in the library, I'm just going to quickly round people up.
Go to your tour, come back, tell us what you think of it.
Hang on a second, before you go, when it was my watch, people were talking about putting other things in the library apart from books. So they were talking about... I believe there is, yeah.
I'm
but
curious about that one.
These are the ideas were like, can we have a football kit library?
Maybe, who knows?
A power tool
Pablo,
library.
Winston, before you go, give us a final thought. Everyone seems to be running to the library.
I want to check it out.
All right, well, let's
Exactly.
how about
It's
then?
the
'Cause
place
we've got
to be
new
right now.
faces. We can carry this going on, but before everyone goes, let's just get some final thoughts very quickly before everyone goes to the library. Pablo.
2 thoughts. This is the future. It's like everyone needs a desk like this. And second thing, does anyone want me to take the rubbish?
There we go, solving problems. We've got sound going off, got a couple of sound issues. We're good, we're good. Winston, what's your final thought?
My last final thought is I'm waiting to see the love, right? So everyone, community.
Yeah? Yeah, I go. Oh, right, yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Hey, we're always happy to come back and spread the love. Absolutely, thanks so much, Winston. Have a fantastic one. Let us know what you think of the library. Angela, you coming back? You giving a final thought? Enjoy your tour of the library. Got a little bit off on the sound at the minute, so I'm going to have to project to use my voice a bit more. We might, no, if you go over in the tent over there, some charging. Is that on? Off. We're just going to have to talk a little bit loudly for now, but come back, let me know what you think and give me your opening thought. That's what I want to go for. Which on the roaming?
Yeah, hello. Is that what?
Try again. A couple of technical difficulties.
9864.
Is the sound effects working? That's working.
Should be working. What's the problem then? I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it's, I don't know. No idea. Hello.
It just shut down. I think that's what it is. It went yawn off from London, mate. It's not me. It's my effect. No, it's me. I jump in the middle of and goes, I can't understand what he says. I'm going to dip off for a bit, I think.
Yeah, nice one, Will.
Margot's got lots of points. Margot, before we get over to you, we've got some new faces. Let's just get some names. What are your names? Lynn? What's your name? Billy was that? You say Billy? Yeah, nice one. So we've been...
Hello. Is it working now?
Is it working?
Hello. Is it working? Is this one? Should be working. I don't know what the problem is. Anyway, hello. Is it working?
While we get to it, Margot, you've had a lot of ideas. What are your thoughts? You're going to shout them out?
Whoa. I think maybe we've got some interference on that. I think we need to switch channel for this, so let me just do that.
Hang on a minute. What's that supposed to be plugged into?
Nice one, Will. That's everything.
Is that everything? Is that what it is? I'm causing problems, but I'm also creating solutions. So.
Yeah, just be careful of this, you don't pull it out.
Alright.
Yeah.
We good,
okay,
we good.
So hang on a second. Turn it down. There we go. Right. Hello. Oh, that's nice and loud now. Okay.
Am I up? Yeah, we're on. Hey! Where's that? I need my bam, 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 bam. There we go. Ding, ding, ding. We're all good. So, Margot, we're back in action. You're on mic 1. I'm going to bring you up. What is on your mind? What is your thoughts?
Well, they're not exactly my thoughts, but Angela has just passed them on to me, and I wanted to like offload them and throw them in the mix whilst the Peabody people were here, but as you know, they've gone now. But I just wanted to be on the record. Basically, Angela was sharing her concern about these buildings, these high-rises going up. They're a bit too tall.
Okay.
People are losing something that's quite unique for Thamesmead, and as access to space, being able to see the sky, that's actually quite priceless. And apparently there are plans to build these high buildings all the way to Abbey Wood. Abbey Wood? No.
You're asking the Brummy here. I don't know the geography, but absolutely. But so a bit of a concern maybe then of the...
The second thing is safety. People, she said the community is worried about drug dealers coming into this area because there's going to be like lots of new people, new market expanding. So that's good. And with that, there's a concern about safety and the gangs. You know, maybe that will attract the wrong kind of crowd. The gangs, Thamesmead is very family oriented, and there's a kind of also issue with big buildings being these blocks of flats are being built overlooking a primary school, and a lot of people are not comfortable with that. Also, there are no curbs, so when children come out of the school, they go straight on the road. So yeah, these are the kind of things.
Quite a few safety concerns about the area. We've got, just to sort of put that in a nice succinct package, we've got things about maybe the skyline being affected, you know, whether or not the community is going to be affected by that and there's going to be new gangs coming in, or even things like the primary school and the way it's been designed straight onto the road, not enough. We've got Ellen, you got an idea then, Georgia, and then I might come over and see if we've got anything to chuck over on these tables as well. But Ellen, what's your thoughts?
You know what? I think that's such an interesting issue about access to light. I know where I live, it's a new build and, you know, it's constantly developing. And, yeah, one of the issues was that a new development was going to reduce the light for a property. So a lot of people sold up and moved out. But it's just not something that I've ever really thought about before, how important light is to your overall well-being. So, yeah, it's just a little thought
So do we need more light here in the area?
You know, it's important to have a lot of light.
Too much of the light as well?
Yeah.
Also, Angela mentioned, just reminded me, Elam, is that whilst the developments were going up, that kind of caused interference. Obviously, like things in already existing flats were shaking as the buildings were going up. And also, I think Angela was kind of touching on the point of that being quite an insensitive thing to be happening during lockdown, because a lot of people have lost somebody, they were grieving, they're still grieving, and they have to put up with all of this noise and that kind of stuff, and it's just like lack of sensitivity around that.
So maybe
and mental health that a lot of people are struggling with.
There's not enough thought going into the community and how it's affected by the changes that are going on. They're so focused on creating change and creating new opportunities, not thinking about the impact. Come join us. Do you think that the area is changing too much? Is it positive changes? Are you enjoying the area right now? Yeah, no? What are your thoughts? You like it? What do you like about the area? What's your name, first of all? Lily. Nice to meet you, Lily. What are your thoughts on the area?
More new buildings. It's going to be more, you know, when you come, you feel it's fresh. It's, you know, you can sit around and enjoy without the cars.
So we was just saying that, you know, it's exciting that there's new buildings being built, but Angela, who's at the table earlier, mentioned that maybe it's blocking out too much light, and we hadn't realised the impact that might have on someone's mental health, for example. And, you know, maybe we need to think about the positioning of the buildings, or, you know, what sort of people are being brought in. Is that something that worries you? Do you think there's not going to be enough light in the area? It's going to be quite gloomy.
My husband probably knows more about this, but I mean, in general, I think if you don't have like straight away in 5 meters against your new building, it should be okay.
You're shaking your head over there in the corner. Do you not agree? Are you on with it? You think it's a prison? An open prison? Why do you think it's an open prison? Are you on about our shelter in general? There's a couple of holes in it, but, you know, it's quite open. How do you think... So it's a bit too... So we need a bit more personality in the area. If you could design it then. So what can we do?
In this place for nearly 34 years.
So if you could change it, well, you're the perfect person for this conversation then. If you could have a direct impact and choose how to change the area, what's one change that you'd like to see happen?
What change?
Yeah, what would you like to change?
Like somewhere people can get together, community can get together, have a tea, coffee, chat, market, they can have a bit of fruit, veg, this, you know what I mean?
So more places for the community to come together.
Like
There's not enough, so maybe a new market.
And I'll tell you what, another thing, they're doing that around here as well. And this is personal because I've been through 3 years of rehab a lot. And I still drink. And I love my drink. Every day I drink. I ain't got nobody. I live on my own. I've been living in them for 25 years now.
So do you think there needs to be more opportunities for like a community aspect to come together?
There's nobody for lonely people. There's nobody for young lonely people. Right?
Maybe that's something we need to...
And if you drink outside, you get done for it because I can't afford to go to the pub. I can't afford their prices. I sit outside, please nix me. If I sit around here and have a drink, somebody's going to come round and say, you can't do this.
Right, okay. So maybe we need like a... We were talking earlier about what we need in the library, so maybe
so if I
we
want
need
to have
like...
a little drink and sit down in somewhere like looking by the lake or somewhere peaceful.
Like an outdoor cafe, but it's a bring your own drinks, bring your own booze situation.
I can't afford to go in a pub and things and this. I drink outside, get out me 4 walls. Man, my mental health, I'm a depressed person. I suffer from a lot of physical injuries as well.
So maybe a communal drinking area then. That's one change we could have, overlooking the lake.
I go every wood every day.
Yeah.
I sit there, everybody knows me. Even shopkeepers don't complain, nothing. I mind my own business. I sit there, have a chat with a few people. I might have if I got a couple of pence, I might have a lucky 15 on a horses or whatever. But what I'm saying, that's my way of relating to people. And then they pull me and give me £80 fine. But I'm going to pay £80 pay it when I'm...
So you feel like there's not a place for you, and I think that's a really interesting point, but there's been a lot of hand shoot up in that. We've got Margot, we've got Georgia. Lynn, I've not forgotten about you. I want to get your ideas in the area as well, so giving you a bit of a heads up for some thinking time. I'm going to come to you in a minute. But Margot, let's shoot over to you. You've got your hand up there. What are your thoughts?
I think the point that you just made is just such an important point. Sorry, I didn't catch your name. What was your name? Billy. Billy, nice to meet you. Yeah, I think it's just such an important point that rarely there are areas which are accessible to everybody where there are no questions asked. You can just be, no one's managing you, no one's monitoring what you're doing. And, I really kind of hear what you're saying about maybe this feeling like an open prison. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's almost like people's time has to be managed and organized all of the time, but people also have got their own ways of doing things, and I wonder whether there could be just like no questions asked zone where people can do all those things.
What are you saying, Billy?
I like meeting people. That's my way of getting out. I used to do a lot of things in life, you know what I mean? I was stock control, self-produce, everything, you know what I mean?
So you got like your own way of doing things as well.
Yeah.
But you want to bring people into that world, is what we're saying.
But I like community as well.
Yeah, so you need a space. You've got that space for yourself, but you need that community
space. I need my own
space
as well, for people to leave me alone.
Yeah. No, I think it's a great point, Billy. We've got a new face at the table. What's your name?
Joanne.
Joanne. Just to introduce, we've got Joanne, we've got Liam, we've got Billy, we've got Margot, we've got Ellen, we've got Georgia, we've got Mikey. I'm Will. This is Talkaoke. We've just been having quite an interesting chat, actually. We're talking about the area. Billy was saying there's not really a place for him to do what he wants to do, to have a drink with people, to get out and about, to have a community aspect. And it's important to have that, but it's also important to have your own owners.
If you're getting a group with a couple of people and you're having a couple of cans, they think you're a troublemaker, and you know what I mean?
Right, so yeah.
You're judged by what you judge by, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to get your ideas in a second, but Lynn, what are your thoughts on this? Do you agree? Do you think there needs to be more spaces for people to come together, or do you think we've got opportunities that we're not aware of? I mean, what are your thoughts?
I guess we need more spaces where people can go, where they're not judged, where they can go with friends, and other people don't feel threatened by them. But so where do you go in Abbey Wood, Billy? In Abbey Wood. So do you not think that when this is all up and running...
Sometimes, most of the time I used to go up the wood. All the time I used to go up the wood, but it gets depending on weather. You know what I mean?
It's almost weather dependent, so it limits your opportunities to go out and about and do things.
I do go up the road, you know what I mean? I sit there, take me a couple of kinds of drinks, but it's okay. When I go Abbey Wood, to meet people, when I'm in room, I don't touch them. But when I go in a neighborhood, I like to meet people, chat to people, exchange ideas, and that's my way of love people. That's where I make my friends, and I mean, at the moment, I'm not being funny. My family don't contact me, brothers don't contact me, sisters don't contact me.
So we need an opportunity to talk to
I've
people.
got no family that contacts me.
Well, Billy, the good thing about this is hopefully it gives you a chance to talk to more people, to get involved. That's what all about the people speak. But Georgia, you've got an idea. What's on your mind, Georgia?
Just all this talk of it's the first time like alcohol and drinking outside has been mentioned, and I think it's really important to be able to have that space because people do like going drinking, and people also don't have too much money as well.
So we've got the water, but not the watering hole.
Yeah, and I think it's really important to remember that people do like going to have a drink, and it just reminds me of like in Spain and Italy where people go and just drink in like a plaza like this, like a square, and there's no qualms about it. People are allowed to do that, and so why here in London?
So why don't we
which
allow
is so
people to have a
diverse?
drink?
Why is it kind of frowned upon, and why do we have to go to a pub and spend so much money?
So a pub's too expensive. Is it limiting people's option to go out and have a drinks community?
So I like this idea of a no questions asked space.
Nice. Not all drinkers are troublemakers, says Billy. Mikey, you've got a point. I'm going to turn you up. What's your thought?
Well, we're doing this actually project tomorrow in Hackney Wick in this space outside the Pearl, which is a cafe, but it's interesting space because people are also allowed to come and bring their own drinks there. And it makes for a really buzzing community space because, as I think Georgia pointed out, not everyone has got the money to buy drinks, but also there's other people out there that do have the money and want, happy to buy it from the pub. But why not mix those two groups of people together? And I think it's really nice that they're doing that at the Pearl, and they're actually allowing people to come and bring their own drinks and be...
So these spaces are around, just not in all the areas.
I think that's very unusual, but I think it's very successful as well.
So, Pablo, you come back. We've changed the conversation. We've moved on. We're talking now about the area as a whole. And Billy's saying there's not any places that are accessible or cheap enough to go and have a drink at with people. Not all drinkers are troublemakers. And if you just want to come out into the square, have a drink, meet some people, you can't do that anymore in this area. Maybe we need more opportunities.
National food and bring it together, share it with everybody, have a drink, have a laugh, bit of music.
It's almost like a little festival in the area,
don't do
isn't
nothing
it?
around here in Thamesmead. I've been living here for a long, long time and I ain't seen nothing.
So maybe this is the change we need. We need more spaces like that. We need more areas. Margot, what's your thoughts on this?
I think one of the other things that you're talking about, Billy, which I'm kind of curious to kind of get some thoughts on from people is, you mentioned loneliness. And people, okay, we are here now today. You came out to join this Talkaoke, whatever. But I wonder how many people are kind of in their flats right now, not doing that, and what is preventing them from being out on the street and doing what we're doing? Is it because there's nothing going on, or is there some stuff going on? But how do we let them know? How do we get them involved? Because I think, it's a great...
Open up some sort of a community place that they can go and advertise, put it in advertise in a blog and that you can come and meet people, you know what I mean?
So yeah...
There are ways. If there's a will, there's a way.
Do you know what? It's the first time in a while I've sat here very quietly because there's a lot of conversations going on, a lot of thought to be absorbed. We've got another new face at the table. I think it's time to do another quick round just to get everyone introduced, to get people feeling with each other. What's your name, my friend?
Hi, I'm Dennis.
Dennis?
Thamesmead resident for 3 years now.
Oh, nice to meet you, Dennis. So we've got Dennis, we've got Pablo, we've got Margot, we've got Ellen, we've got Billy, we've got Lynn, we've got Joanne. Yes, all right, I'm on a roll here. We got Mikey, we got Georgia. This is Talkaoke. Dennis, wasn't it? Yeah. Yes, that's right. I started with yourself, then I got to the end and I thought, should have remembered that a bit better. But Dennis, we're talking about the area as a whole, and we're talking about changing the area. I mean, is there any changes that you'd like to see in the area in particular? Say you've been here for a couple of years now. Is there anything that you'd like to change? Is there anything you enjoy about the area?
Yeah, I'd really like a pub.
We'd really like a pub. Fits in with just what Billy was saying. He was saying that there's not a place for people to come together and drink, but I think the important thing is maybe an affordable pub, is what he said. Billy, I'm going to come and get your idea in a second, but Lynn, I want to get your thoughts. What's on your minds?
The main problem in this area is the amount of licensed premises that are no longer in use.
Right, okay.
Sort of in Thamesmead and in the wider Erith and Belvedere area, the amount of, you know, the social clubs, the pubs that have all closed down or been knocked down. You know, this was once I hold my hands up, I've got a vested interest, I'm a publican's daughter. Okay, so my parents run pubs locally years ago. But 2 of the 3 pubs that they run in the Bexley Borough are closed down. We've got 3 social clubs in Thamesmead, Billy, that have gone. Yeah.
So do we need to bring the social clubs back? And how do we do that? How do we get them back?
We're
Pablo,
bringing-
you look like you were gearing up. I'll come to you in a second.
I understand that we're bringing the moorings back, but I don't know if it's going to be licensed.
Right, okay then. So we are getting new developments there, but we need those licenses. They're important. Ellen, let's get your thoughts in. Pablo, I'll come over to yourself, yeah.
It's Abbey Wood, where like local residents sort of came together to, you know, open up a pub again. Whether or not it's affordable, that's another question. But I did have a point, actually. I wonder what it's like for residents that's been living here for decades. What is it like having all these new people moving in? Because it must have been quite a pretty quiet place before, but now, with all the new developments, it must be getting a bit busier. What is that like? You know, is it fun? Is it fun having all these new people around, or...?
Interesting question. So what's it like with all these new people coming in? Is it good? Is it bad?
In Abbey Wood, the Abbey Wood pub, they took over. It is not now Abbey Wood or Thamesmead community pub. It is pub for the middle class.
Right, okay, so maybe it's a pub for the middle class. It's not accessible to all the classes. Pablo, you seem to be agreeing. Do you agree with that?
Well, funny enough, one of the points I was was just inclusion, because I don't want to talk about loneliness, and I was just saying, well, it also goes beyond that as well. It's how do we get the young talking to the old, and how do we get, you know, it's like different cultures just mixing around the square. And personally speaking, I like to see things like this because obviously food is the great uniter, and it's just amazing to actually see what people have to offer from their own culture. So maybe we can actually potentially look at community-sponsored events where they all bring their typical dishes from their own places, and
so maybe food is going to be the unifying factor. Food is the way in. I think that's important. Joanne, you've stayed nice and quiet. You're absorbing all of this conversation in. What do you think? How do you think we can bring the communities together? Have you got any ideas?
Well, I lived in Thamesmead since 1980. I was in stage 3 and then I moved to stage 2. But there's nothing round here to do. I mean,
there's nothing round here to do.
There's nothing. They closed down the pub that was over there. That was quite good. It had a snooker table and everything like that. Then up here in Abbey Wood, you've got no pubs that are, you know, good for the community. And the library, you knocked it down. I mean, I know we built a new one, but it's been so long that we haven't had a library. We've had that porter cabin down there, and that's not good. The library that was over there that was been knocked down is actually was the best library. Had wooden stairs for the kids to club up and down, had an after-school club, computers, scanning, everything. I went over there for everything, like computing and stuff like that. So I know all about this. And I know you're letting the kids in the lake at the moment, but that lake isn't clean. They've tried to
so
clean
it's
it
not
up.
safe, is it?
Yeah, there's supposed to be a bench of playground around here and horse riding. It's all closed.
So it sounds like there was a lot of opportunities. Thanks for your thoughts on it, Joanne. There was lots of things here before, and over the years they've disappeared, they've slowed down, and we need them to... It's not you, don't worry, that mic's just on a world of its own today, all right? This conversation's getting the microphone down a little bit as well, but you're absolutely right. It sounds like there's lots of things that were here initially, and as they reopen up and things start to be introduced, they're not really being introduced in the way that the community wants them to be reintroduced. I mean, what do you think, Dennis? Well, you mentioned you wanted a pub, which seemed to be like a really popular idea, that one, getting a pub going, getting it going. But, you know, have you got any other ideas on how we can bring the community together, you know, and how we do that? You know, is it to need to be more consultation with the community? What are your ideas?
We could trial a universal basic income here.
Right.
One of the reasons why people feel that there's no community is because people can't afford to have a community. And, you know, community depends on leisure time. It depends on not being sort of against a wall. So you make everyone richer, or you get a better community.
So maybe we need to funnel more money into the community. Billy, yeah, what's your idea?
You got to have a balance. You got to bring young and old all together, mix. That's
Right.
how the community works.
So how do we
Otherwise,
bring the young and the old together in Thamesmead? How do we do that? Have you got any
you
thoughts?
got to make sure the young one connect with the old one, and the old one connects with the young one. So both generations.
You need this
can exchange
multi-generational.
ideas and-
I mean, maybe we need some sort of board. Mandy, I might bring you on this one as well. We're talking about how we can bring the different generations together in the area, how we can bring the young and the old together. Have you got any thoughts and idea on how we might do this?
I think maybe with events like these, you know.
Right,
I feel
okay.
like there's lots of different generations here today, isn't there?
Yeah, and do you think they're gelling well? Do you think they're talking more?
Yeah, I mean, it's the kind of event, isn't it? I mean, I think events in general, not just today, because I organised it, but like in general, I think events do bring people together, and certainly intergenerational audiences where, you know, you can come with your nana.
Yeah, I mean, we pick all the easy words here at Talkaoke. Intergenerational is definitely the easiest one of the day for us to try and get out. But you're right, yeah. So events like this are going more and more, and hopefully, I mean, there's a plans to have more of these sort of events in the future?
I think that is definitely the idea, but I think what we're trying to get out of today and other events like this is what people want to see actually happening in the square.
Right.
So rather than just put on events, you know, that we think people will like.
The Thamesmead Market coming back, because that was quite good last year. The Thamesmead Market that was over the other side by Lakeside. That was really good. Because I don't like it at all. It was really good. You know, you had lots of different stalls there. And I know, like, people have got kids and stuff, but you don't really do anything for the adults. I mean, I'm 43 now, but I'm still like in the hennas and glitter tattoos and all that, and they don't do that anymore. And
Right, okay.
it's not. The market stopped before Christmas. Now, why didn't you bring it back?
Billy, before you go, I want to get a final thought from you. Actually, been a right nice one. We'll save your seat for you, but maybe we need that market back because it was another great opportunity for communities to come together. George, you got a point. Before we do that, we've had some new faces that have snuck to the table as well, so I need to get a couple of names from people. So let's get some names going. I'm just going to sort out. Do you know what? Part of my new job is being a sort of DJ as well, trying to figure out this mixer. So just bear with me on the feedback. I'm going to get your names in a second, so finish your mouthfuls, because I have a knack of coming to people right as they take a big bite of food, so I'm giving you a fair warning now. What's your name? Sharon, nice to meet you, Sharon. What are your names?
Right.
Sorry, wait there, let me get the microphones up. James, nice to meet you, James. I got the wrong microphone there.
And my...
That's all right, I got you on the spot now.
My name is Ian.
Ian, so we got...
By the way, the markets, I think, are planned for the summer.
Yeah, but that's been ages now. It's been ages. It's been since Christmas. Lockdown finished on the 17th of May. You should have come back then. Yeah, you're on my Facebook thing, and you.
No, it's not me. Nothing
Well,
to
the
do
one
with
that does it.
Yeah, I'm just telling you.
Yeah, so maybe you know, there is some stuff online as well. Maybe there's not. Maybe that's part of the problem. We're not communicating about the events that are actually going on at the moment. Sharon, is that right? Yes, all right, we're off to a good start. We've got the name. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think that there are enough events in the area? Would you like to see more events? Any ideas? Right, so we need more stuff for the young people. A big conversation we had earlier was how we make it a bit more intergenerational. We were saying that, you know, there's not enough for the adults, but also maybe not enough for the young people. Is there anything that we can do that can tie these two communities together? What can we do to bring the old and the young together? Georgia, I didn't forget, I know you jumped on the camera, you had a point earlier. Is there still something you want to make, or...?
One of the children earlier mentioned bring more quizzes, and I know that we were just talking about pubs.
Yeah.
And pubs used to always have a pub quiz. Like, it'd be every week. And, like, it was a really big thing for getting people together, you know?
maybe
So
we need
I'm
more
just wondering
quizzes in
if we
the
could do
area.
that, like, when we bring this community local pub back.
I don't know if it's the sun or the conversation, but the table's heating
we
up.
have
We
a
got
quiz.
hands shooting up.
We have a quiz.
A quiz, maybe.
Yeah.
Right, what we're going to do, we'll go Ellen, we'll go Margot, and then we'll get some more thoughts, you know. Lynn's taken it all in there. We've had Adriana that snuck back into the conversation. We're talking about community at the moment, the changes I'd like to see. Are there enough events? Are we bringing generations together? Do we need a cheap pub or where a space you can bring your own booze to another drink? This is what we're talking about. Ellen, what's your thoughts?
I was just chatting to Teslin. Teslin was just on the mobility scooter.
Yeah.
She just popped away for a moment. But she was just saying the only difficulty with events like this is there's not enough people. She is partially, basically she can only lip read.
Okay.
So she can't really hear properly.
Yeah.
So she was saying with events like this, there's no one signing. So it's
Right.
not really so accessible. So it will be good for events like this if there's someone who's doing the signing. So it just really made me think actually about how, like, you know, I'm not even thinking about people that may have some kind of disability or they can't, you know, someone who can't hear.
So we need to
you
make
know?
events perhaps more accessible.
Yeah,
I
more
wish my
accessible,
BSL was
more
better. I've got
accessible.
some basic sign, but it's not very good. But absolutely, we might need a bit more BSL training, perhaps, getting through that. I mean, what are our thoughts? I mean, we've got... I thought I was given the red card there for one reason. I panicked for a minute. Yeah, I'm being told off here. Absolutely. But what are our thoughts? Mikey, I think we are being shown up on our sound effects board here. I think we need that sound effect on here. It's about as good as we got. Similar, yeah, consensus? All right, anyway, Margot, moving on. What are your ideas and thoughts?
Mentioned about doing something intergenerational, or what would I think you asked the question based on what people were saying.
Yeah.
About doing things for young people and older people, and Billy was saying earlier that loneliness is something that has from what I
Affected
understood,
the area.
yeah, it's affecting both old and young, and I wonder whether there's something that we can kind of do community-wide, just to kind of address loneliness. And it actually, is it true what Billy is saying? Are people lonely? I don't know. It seems like a busy
I think
place.
it's a big question. I mean, what do people think? I mean, let's go with a quick hands up. Let's just get a quick consensus. Do we think that loneliness is a problem that affects the area? Chuck your hand up if you think it does affect the area. Yeah, all right. So quite a few people agree that it does. So how might we address this then? Are there any ideas on what we could do to address loneliness? I thought it's a big question to answer, and I'm sure the government would be really happy to get an answer on this one, to be honest, in light of recent events. But, I mean, I was about to come to you, James, but you took a big mouthful, so I'll leave you to it. Don't worry, I'll come back. Mikey, yeah.
I mean, I think, you know, what Mandy said about the event, I do, even obviously we do events, and we do events especially, which is about getting people together, but I do actually think that more events actually, and consistent events, actually has a positive effect on the community, and it does allow people to kind of get to know each other as well. So, you know, I mean, we did an event about loneliness, and, you know, it's clear that it's quite hard to, you know, if people aren't coming out of their flats, and obviously you've had COVID now, which has made people more isolated, it's really hard to actually get to the lonely people because, you know, they are disconnected by their very nature.
So it's tricky, isn't it? How do we reconnect? Georgia, I can see you hiding behind the camera, but come out there, give us your ideas, give us your thoughts.
Just jumping off of what Mikey's saying, are people affected and not wanting to come out because they are not able to? So, like, if they can't get up and down the stairs, and also they've been affected by COVID, like, do we need to utilise what COVID has brought to us with, like, having more, like, hybrid sessions? A lot of the Talkaokes that we do, they are online and they're also in person as well. So
almost like a virtual live in-person event. Or maybe
having
like
a virtual
pub
option.
from home. We mentioned pubs earlier. It sounds like we want to see like a virtual pub. We'll go Billy, we'll go Dennis. Yeah, Billy.
Yeah, but when you say these days everything's online, I mean, I don't know. I ain't got a clue how to even do text, never mind online. You know,
You had lost his me with this. I've got a
like
personal
me,
helper.
there's around here, everything these days is online.
Yeah, I mean,
You
somebody
can't
mentioned earlier, you weren't here for this one, Billy, but somebody mentioned earlier about the library and what we would fill it with if it wasn't books. And someone said maybe we fill it with like computer games or like online computers. And maybe that's a way for people to get a bit more technically, like a bit, what's the word, technologically accessible? Anyway, we move forward. Dennis, what are your ideas?
I just wanted to say that online isn't the magic bullet.
Right, okay.
So, like, if you think about a Zoom meeting, which we've had a million of, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's like a gigabyte of data for every hour.
Okay.
You need to be computer literate. You probably need a laptop or a tablet. You probably need a broadband connection that starts at 20 quid a month.
So have you got any ideas on how we might engage with these people that are disconnected from society, that have been lonely, locked in their flats? How can we engage with them?
You can do a town-wide Wi-Fi service for free.
Free Wi-Fi everywhere you go. That was a lot of nods. I think that's getting a round of applause because everyone's going, oh, I like a bit of free Wi-Fi here and there. But who's going to pay for this Wi-Fi? Where's it going to come from? Are people going to start to worry about more 5G stuff? Do you think we need free Wi-Fi in the area, wherever you go? Yeah, I am talking to you with the coffee over there, but we'll come back, we'll move on. James, what are your ideas? Do you think Wi-Fi is something we need in the area? Does it need to be free?
Yeah, it can help. But I think stuff like this is nice. You know, people should get fresh air. I think lockdown has been a big thing. So
yeah,
to see people coming out is nice. I do Zoom meetings all the time, so it gets a bit.
Are you fed up with the Zoom? Are you zoomed out?
I'm fed up with the Zoom.
We have something at Talkaoke called Zoom fatigue, where we've had too many Zoom meetings and we just can't carry on anymore.
Yeah. So I think, you know, meeting people is nice. You know, you can meet someone, they got nice perfume on, give them a compliment. It's different.
We've missed the perfume, we've missed the aftershave. Have we all been a bit smelly during lockdown? Is that a problem we've not realised? Maybe I need to put some more on, who knows? But
I had COVID a few weeks ago and I lost my sense of smell, but it's coming back. It's coming back, and when I was in the van with you, Will, I could smell the aftershave, and that was actually, it was really good to be able to smell that.
Was it? Was it good? Okay, in which case, other way around. All right, Mandy, you had some thoughts.
I agree. I think that Zoom has lost some kind of personalisation. So it's great that we've been able to connect in that way during lockdown. But now, for me, I think, you have to wait for someone else to speak. But, there's no flow of that conversation. So I feel like it's kind of lost that personal touch that these kind of events can bring. And coming out, I don't think you can replicate that online.
Yeah.
And also, I feel like that loneliness, people have been forced into that because they've had to stay at home. But actually, technology is not available to everybody and not accessible to everybody. So I feel like now is the time to get back out, get some fresh air, come out and listen to some music and do that kind of thing. I think in terms of connectivity, music is always going to be a big one.
I absolutely agree. So that connectivity, that accessibility is important. Lynn managed to sneak off there. Lynn, I am going to get her. Lynn that's walking away in the lanyard. No, she's gone. We'll get her later. But absolutely, the accessibility is important and it is a challenge for people. I'm really interested by this smell thing that we've mentioned. Is it a sense that we've just not used during lockdown?
I have to say, there's so many things about COVID and how it changes your perspective, but losing your smell and then getting it back makes you really appreciate that sense of smell.
I feel like maybe we need like a microphone for the nose that just transmits smells to people. Like you can smell good. James likes this idea. What are your thoughts on it? Do you want to something in your living room where you can smell what someone's got in their own home, what they're cooking, what they're doing?
Yeah. I think that's nice. It's just like memories. Some people can have a smell that you can recognize. So like you can go somewhere else and just have memories and build with people. And then the thing with Zoom is Zoom is very structured, but let's say you just want to have a piece of information for one person. It's a bit of a struggle, whereas now that we're outside, I could see you and I can have a one-to-one with you.
Yeah.
Whereas no one gets involved in that. So I think.
And you've got to wait for everyone to unmute themselves.
Yeah,
what a drag.
That's another thing. And maybe your house might not be clean, so you might not want to show your background and stuff like that on Zoom. So.
I hope I'm not the only one that's sometimes mastered the art of only showing the clean part of what's on the webcam. Yeah, all right. Everyone else has done that as well. So everyone else is a mess and it's just that diagonal of clean. Yeah, all right, absolutely. Josh, what are your thoughts? We're coming around. Find a mic. Thank you, Dennis.
I appreciate everyone has got Zoom fatigue, myself included. But I'm still curious about the people that cannot leave the house, that are really old. What their mobility, how do we have events that include people that can't leave? How do we make it so say someone lives, I don't know, on the second floor and they can't leave the house. What do we do? Do we show a film so that they can see it from their home so they don't have to leave?
So maybe we try and help them and bring the activities to them.
And then combat that loneliness of the person that can't leave. How do we go about that?
Billy, can we get a final thought from you before?
Billy!
We need a final thought. No?
No, have a think, come back, get a drink, tell us.
He's gone.
That's all right. Yeah. People come, they go, they think, they leave. I mean, people, I've been a bit quiet. Joanne, I want to get some thoughts from you, Ian, as well. I know we're soaking it all up, and Adriana, I've not forgot about you in the corner behind those glasses. You're all right. You know, you can sit there absorbing it. I want to get people's idea of this. I think it's a really interesting conversation of how do we engage with those that struggle to engage for whatever reason that is, whether that's an accessibility issue, it's a technological issue. How do we do that? Yeah.
I mean, I think for me, one of the things is that every single person come and get involved.
Yeah,
come
we're
and have a
talking
chat.
about how do we engage with people that aren't engaging with activities? Do you like coming to activities in the area? Is this the first activity you've come to? Come sit down, tell us about it. It's what we're talking about. A round of applause. Come sit down just for a second. Just for a minute. Come on. Come give us an idea. You don't have to sit down. You can walk around the table. You guys can put your feet up for a minute. We don't have a cup of tea we'd offer you. We would if we did, but we're just trying to get an idea. What would you like to see in the area that would bring you out of your flat to come and get involved? A park, yeah? Do we need more parks in the area?
I don't speak on the mic.
That's all right. I don't like the sound of my own voice, but, you know, sometimes you just got to let it sing. What would you like to see? Would you want to see more parks? No, she's like, don't talk to that scary man on the mic. I know my hair's a bit scary, but I'm not scary, hopefully, all right?
She said swimming pool.
Swimming pool, absolutely. I mean, do we need more swimming pools? I think Joanne mentioned earlier that people are swimming in the lake, but maybe it's not as clean as it needs to be. A leisure centre. And what sort of things would you like to see in the leisure centre? Swimming pool, gym. Soft play as well. Would you like to see like a play area in a building around here? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Put it out there. Thank you for doing the sound effects and keeping it going. But is that something we'd like to see? A leisure centre in the area? Ian, what are your thoughts? Would you like to see a leisure centre in the area? You look so shocked when I picked on you there. I'm sorry, I got eyes in the back of my head, my friend.
I thought I'd escaped.
You saw what?
I thought I'd escaped.
Are you trying to run away? Are you trying to leave? No. Well, before you go.
Taking the ambience.
That's all right, taking the ambience. Give us a final thought. Are you going? You give me a wave. Are you going to the park? Enjoy the park. If you have any ideas, come back. Let us know about it. All right, have a lovely day, though.
Over the last few years, stuff's been grand.
Stuff's been grand the last few years.
When I first moved here, there was nothing.
Right. Do you think you've been consulted on things and you've been able to make an impact? Is it just something that's happened organically?
I think by accident I joined the Culture Forum.
Right, okay.
And that's
for those of us that are uneducated in the ways of the area, myself, what is the Culture Forum?
There's a few forums run by Peabody.
Okay.
There's the Business Forum.
The Business
people
Forum.
Who want to do business.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the Culture Forum, which talks about culture, arts, crafts that's happening in the community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe we need one on loneliness. Maybe we need a lonely forum for those people, how to engage, and maybe that's something they can take ownership of, get direct to the source.
Well, through the Culture Forum, they had a guy called Harry. He ran a little group called Community Sound, where people just used to come in. You didn't have to be able to play an instrument, beat drums, sing.
Right,
They used to run
okay.
it once a month.
So like
And
a
there
sort of music
there were
forum.
people who were lonely who got involved in that.
Nice. So maybe we need more of things like that. I mean, is that widely accessible? Ellen, that was what's going on in your mind there? Talk me through your thought process.
Yeah, I was just thinking how important music is, and it's a really good way to sort of connect people, because, it's not just playing the instrument, it's like the engineering side of things, it's the people who just like to enjoy it, the singers, there's so much involved, and I think that is such a good way of like bringing sort of people together. I love how you said by accident though.
Basically, what happened? I used to do film extra work.
Mm-hmm.
A friend of mine told me that they were doing a BBC production called Informer, and they were looking for extras. So I went to the meeting, and then when I was at the meeting, I met Adriana, who was in the Culture Forum, and she signed me up. And I was very interested because I've always walked through this area. There's loads of flats and everything, but it's not like a typical inner city area. There's not loads of teenagers hanging around. Like, come 9 o'clock, everyone's in bed, sort of thing.
That was one of the concerns that came out early, though, is whether or not there is that, you know, with all the changes that are going on, whether or not more young people are going to be brought in, and whether that's a good or a bad
It's not
thing.
even
You know,
young. It's not just young people. So there's probably like, well, now I know there are artists here, all age groups, musicians, all age groups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
But
not
there's-
just one;
but
it's
there-
quite a
because of
community
the,
spread.
how the area is. There's nowhere where people can actually meet. But that's
Well,
changing.
I'm going to turn the tables a little bit because you name dropped Adriana there. I'm going to bring you into the chat. You thought you could sit there quietly, but you've been shouted out as somebody that has engaged with the community, brought people together. So have you got any more thoughts on what are your plans? Are you going to carry on bringing communities together? What's going on? You're looking official with your lanyard. You know, let us in on your thought process.
Yeah, I think we've got. I mean, the community here is amazing, and the dedication and passion. You know, what Ian hasn't said is that like for the last 18 months, he's been meeting with another group of residents, like sometimes once a week, to plan the Thamesmead Festival that's happening in 2 weeks' time. So I think there's a lot of people here who want to get involved and want to make stuff happen. We've just supported another group of people to form the Black Culture Collective, and they've just commissioned some new projects. So I think that, yeah, it's about us supporting local people to do what local people want to see happen.
Right.
It's not about us coming in and doing stuff. It's about, and that actually is what this events program is about. So this is the first event in a series of more events, but we haven't planned the rest of the events yet because we want to hear what it is that people want to see.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of came in just as markets were being mentioned. So
Yeah, Billy was mentioning, Joanne was bringing up as well.
we can bring markets back.
Yeah, I mean, what sort of things would you like to see in the market? And Sharon, feel free to jump in on this as well. Don't look so shocked. I'm not dragging you in. It's up to you how much you get involved. That's all right. You listen, you soak it all in. Mandy, yeah.
I was going to say, I'm not a local resident, but again, when I first sat down, Joanne was talking about the market. So it would be interesting to know what is great about the markets and what it is about the markets that you love and you want to see more of.
So, Ellen, I'll come to you in a second. Joanne, have you got anything?
What kind of market? Is it food or craft or...?
Billy, I'll come to you in a sec. Let's get Joanne, and then I'll come to yourself, Billy, yeah.
No, not food stuff, because I had some food from the what you know we was going on the bus and over to Tump 53 when it's opened 2 years ago. That food didn't agree with me at all. But anyway, I don't like to see a lot of food. More people that live around here that do the market don't. The people that do the events in the market don't come from Thamesmead. I'm sitting there and they're going, this is Thamesmead. I goes, where's this then? And they're going, well, I know. And I'm going, well, that's there. I know all Thamesmead. I know all Thamesmead. Back of my hand, I've come from around here 15 years. I've been over there for 20 years. So they need to get people that are actually doing the events in Thamesmead, that live in Thamesmead.
Right.
And Peabody need to pull their finger out with repairs as well. Because we've had broken roads around here, we've had the lift not working for 6 weeks, and I've got mobility problems. I couldn't go out, get your neighbour duty shopping. So anyway, but we need more people doing the market from Thamesmead and the really surrounding areas like Abbeywood and Woolwich to bring more craft and stuff like that.
So maybe more opportunities for people from the area
Yeah.
to actually get involved, whether that's in a food aspect, a creative aspect, but almost like a pop-up opportunity for residents to showcase their talents and abilities as well. Billy, I know you had a thought, and Ellen, I've not forgot about you, don't worry. Billy, what's on your mind? What were you thinking?
Every community does their own things, like Jamaican, they do their own thing, Indian do their own thing. You know, everybody, every month they do a community does their own thing. Why not bring them community together? And what she's saying about food market, I agree with you some certain way. But you've got to have some sort of like veg market, clothing market, so people need sort of market. You need, not all foods are like that, you know what I mean? But you've got to give a choice to the community, what they want. I mean, some people used to have butchers and, grocers. And,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, see, but I know I'm not supposed to have an opinion. I'm from Birmingham. We've got the Birmingham Rag Market, and it's like a centre hub for culture where I'm from.
Yeah,
so, it's not just food. It could be
all
clothes,
different
fabrics.
nationality, different clothing, different, you know what I mean? Bring
Absolutely.
people together.
Yeah. Also, it might be just a place to get rid of some of that stuff in your cupboard that you don't want anymore. You know, a bit of a car boot.
It's
chuck
like
it out there.
Flakes lanes
Absolutely.
and all that, you know, same thing.
Nice one. Thank you, Billy. Of course you can. Go for it.
So, Thamesmead Festival in 2 weeks, just on the other side of the lake, on the Saturday, 14th of August. So Ian and the rest of the resident group have just like worked really, really hard, and we work with a local market organiser called CC Events that is set up by, so it's a couple who both, like, she grew up in Thamesmead and her husband used to be a police officer in Thamesmead, and they have programmed like just Thamesmead stall holders, and all of the musicians are from Thamesmead. So I don't know if you want to say any more, Ian, but like the group's really made sure that like it's a celebration of Thamesmead.
So it sounds like exactly
right?
what Joanne wanted. Billy, I will get your thoughts. Let's come over to yourself, though. Whoa, that's my DJ ability is going wrong.
Yeah, I do one appearance a year playing my harmonica in a band. So if you want to hear my harmonica and see me live at the Thamesmead Festival, 3 o'clock.
Thamesmead Festival, 3 o'clock, harmonica solo coming your way.
Chicago-style blues band.
Chicago-style blues band, I like it. A lot of nods coming through, a lot of people enjoying it.
And then you have this very modest guy here.
Come on, James, this is you trying to toot your own horn, go for it.
I'll also be performing at Thamesmead Festival as well. So catch me there. I do a little bit of rapping, singing, Afro beats. So
we've got a real eclectic mix of different styles coming out as well. And maybe that's sort of mixing together that different thing that Billy and Joanne were asking for. You know, a local chance for local artists to showcase their abilities and talents. Joanne, what were we saying?
At the festival, the other one I went to, is there going to be that drag queen again? Because she's very funny and good. And they had this man on a piano and singing a cover version of one of the songs from Pulp. And that was quite good. It was quite funny. I enjoyed that. And then they had a pet show, pet competition of the best pet and everything like that. But, you know, they didn't have that when, because we haven't had it due to COVID. But it's up on the hill, so I don't know why they were not doing it. But anyway,
bringing back some of the old favourite acts as well.
Yeah.
So last year we just did some markets instead. We are bringing back the dog show, so the dog show is happening. But we're not bringing back the drag queen or the man on the piano because they weren't from Thamesmead. So it's all like Thamesmead acts. But there will be like other people.
It was still funny, and I think lots of people enjoyed that time because there was a lot of people up there and they were all sitting there watching it, and it was, we had hay bags to sit on, but it was still very good. I mean, I won't be here for. I'm going to a Together concert in Maidstone because I'm a key worker, so I won't be here for the festival this year. But I don't really like the festival because it's not that good.
Right, okay, so maybe there's a chance to work on it, develop it more, but who knows, it sounds like there's going to be some absolute music that's on fire coming that way as well. James, jump in there, mate.
Can I ask a question? What do you think that we could do to make it better then?
That's a big question.
That good?
Joanne, have a moment to think about that. What can we do to make it better? Ella, I know you had a point. I know it was a while ago. Is it still relevant to conversation? Is there something you just want to chuck in now that's on your mind?
In my own voice, I will say it.
That's
yeah,
right,
so
go
I
for
just, what the point that you were saying about, the market in Birmingham being such a hub.
Yeah, the rag
it's
market.
It's a bit like where I live in Hackney, Ridley Road Market. It's a fruit and veg market, and it's such a hub. And I always think if I ever move to a different area, I'd always want there to be like a local fruit and veg market where I can see, what's in season, etc. It's just such a nice vibe there to
get to know the vendors, by name.
Get one in Thamesmead.
Yeah,
get a Thamesmead, Monday to Sunday market down there.
I'd be down there, especially if there was like some music going on from yourself.
Live music.
Get some allotments, was that? Right, all right, so maybe get some allotments, get things growing, come sell that at the market. It's like Thamesmead will become its own self-sufficient little hub, isn't it? You're not going to need the rest of London anymore, You're just going to grow your own food, sell your own food.
I mean, it's far enough out. It kind of needs to be its own little hub. Anyway.
Yeah, it's far if you're not living from here, but absolutely. Joanne, there was a big question posed by James that I want to come back to, because I think it was a really good question. What can we do to make this festival better? What do you want to see that will go, that's it, it's in my calendar, I'm coming down?
Right, you need to have the fireworks back. We used to have fireworks every 5th of November and through the summer as well. So I'd like the fireworks back. The projection on the flats, on the 3 flats there, they had a projection of different shapes and sizes. So that would be good as well because everyone saw that. They had things floating on the lake which children made little yacht things that floated across the lake. I don't know if you saw it, but it's a lot of lakes. There was things going across, fireworks going across the lake. I know it's bad for the birds, but the birds sort of do their own thing and hide away. But going across the lake, there was a sort of like a yacht with a big motorbike on it, and it was going across with fireworks. So I'd like to see the fireworks back, and more things to do with. It's just my preference. I'm into henna tattoos and stuff like that, and glitter tattoos, and they're the things that I think children like as well. So I would like to see more on that.
What I think is really interesting about that, Joanne, and thank you for sharing that, is it sounds like it's not actually the music aspect, it's more a visual aspect instead of an audio. We need more visual things. Do you think, I mean, there was a conversation earlier at the table, wasn't there, Mikey, about whether or not the area is just a bit too grey. It's very modern, but there's not enough colour, not enough life there. So, I mean, I don't know, Sean, I know you're absorbing it all right, and we've been using that audio sensory, but what do you think? Do you think we need more visual input in the area? Does it need to be brighter, more things at festivals? I don't know. What are your ideas? Or you just want to soak it up? That's fine. We'll come back to you and move it forward. Have a think. Let me know. Adrian, that's absolutely fine. Don't worry about it. But Adrian, has that answered some of your questions maybe about the area? Or have you still got more questions that have come from those answers?
Well, I mean, I'm really glad everything that you've just described is the very first event that I organised when I came here back in 2017 in September. So I'm really pleased that you remember that. And I remember there was a lot of nervousness around the fireworks, and what I just find really interesting is that there's always 2 opinions. So we got a lot of flack for those fireworks. It was like, you woke my kid up, you scared the horses, my dog didn't like it. And so so I guess that's why the fireworks haven't happened again, is because lots of people love them, but then there was also a lot of...
Yeah, but there used to be fireworks every single year by the Adventure Playground. I'm going back a bit now. There used to be fireworks every single year, and because I lived in stage 3, we used to have a big crowd in the park and up on the hill, so we could see it. And we used to bring the dog, and the dog wasn't scared. So I think Thamesmead or Peabody or whoever does it need to bring back They bring back the fireworks, because that was. If you ask people that lived around here for quite a few years, they would remember the fireworks every single year, and it was good.
And I think it's a good point, but I get your point as well, Adriana. We were talking about accessibility earlier, and maybe some of those dogs are a bit scared by those fireworks, others aren't, and it's about finding that balance, isn't it?
Fireworks are also really expensive. So when we did the 50th festival, I remember and Ian will remember this, we had a really, really big debate about whether with the commutes, because we always have a community steering group that makes the decisions around the festival. It's do you spend this much money on fireworks and then have a small festival, or do you not do the fireworks and do a bigger festival and do a community procession and do other stuff? And their decision for the 50th festival was, let's not do the fireworks and spend the money on a bigger festival instead. So it's always a balance. But I mean, I'm really pleased. I love fireworks as well, and I love doing them on the lake, so I can definitely try and get more support for that. And if we can get other people saying that they want fireworks, and it is something.
Sorry.
That's all right.
There was a garage, and there was a big dragon in it, a carnival through moorings.
Yeah.
And I went round for that, but they didn't actually do it in front of me. They said you've got to wait around here for 4 hours, and I've got to go home again, you know what I mean? So I like a carnival through this bit, maybe around the lake, I don't know.
Yeah, we're doing, there's a carnival for the festival this year, which I know you won't be here at, but we are doing a carnival that starts in Manor Crossway, and then it's going to come down through the moorings, over the A Bridge, and then down into Southwood Park. But I know the carnival you're talking about.
Yeah, but it's the A Bridge, it's not us. We're here. Yeah. The A Bridge is, that's a part of Central Thamesmead, but this is South Thamesmead. I know we're part of Abbeywood and part of, Bexley, but round here, we weren't round here. there's people around here. You've got all these flats with all these people going in, and they're not going to carnival around here. What's the point?
So maybe we need to sort out the logistics of the areas where the boundary lines are drawn. But before we get into that, George, I know you've been waiting patiently.
I've just noticed we've got some new faces.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to go off this point of fireworks. So every year, before COVID, obviously, in Tower Hamlets, they had the fireworks, and they were incredible, and they were free. And I know that fireworks cost a lot of money. And I'm just wondering... And I know that they're like probably not environmentally friendly and like they scare like different animals and stuff. But I'm just wondering, with all this tech that we've experienced over the last 2 years, like surely there's a way that we can have like virtual fireworks that are in the sky with like a, and then they wouldn't like disturb the animals so much and everything like that.
Fireworks,
but yeah, and have it in a way where
No,
it was
that is a good idea.
so realistic.
So
I think it's
like
a great
lot
point,
of-
but hold your horses.
We need to introduce we need to
Flying
something like this.
I like where this is going.
And that would
Hold
be
up,
with
though.
creativity. Anyway,
I want to bring in the new people, the new faces. Just get some names. Don't worry, I'm not going to put you on the spot. What's your name?
Velma.
Velma and... So, I can't... It's the wind, it's the music. I can't hear.
Yeah, my name is Kayode.
Kayode.
Yeah, how you doing?
Say it one more time for me.
Kayode.
Kayode. We got Joanne, you've just told me Velma, we've got Billy, we've got Adriana, we've got Sharon, we've got, say your name, just joined us. Maria, we got Ellen, we got James, we got Ian, we got Georgia, we got Mikey, I'm Will. This is Talkaoke, we got Mandy that's snuck in at the back as well, I can still see you there. We're talking about lots of stuff, we've been talking about what the area needs, we've been saying that we need more festivals, more markets, more ways for people to engage and get involved. We were just talking, Joanne was saying she really missed the fireworks that we had in the area before, but one of the problems has been that some residents maybe scared their dogs, they didn't like the music. So then George just said, can we have like virtual fireworks, digital fireworks? And Adriana, I know you were getting so excited about that, you were like, we can have drones coming out of the sky. You know, what can we do then? Is there like silent fireworks, digital fireworks, how do they come in? Mikey, what's on your mind?
I think they've had drones here before, haven't they?
I don't know, have they? Does anyone know if we had drones in the area?
No, but you can get like drones that do patterns and stuff like that instead of fireworks that can light up in different
Almost
colours.
like synchronised dancers, but
Yeah,
for
like,
drones.
You can have like 500 drones and they all do kind of a dance.
Does it get noisy? How many drones is too many drones?
Personally, I'm not a big fan of fireworks because they're always the same, but I'd like to see a drone choreography. I think would be quite nice.
Oh, yeah, I mean, hopefully it doesn't drone on too long. But what other thoughts have we got on it? I mean, do people like that idea? I know you picked up that one, Ian. Yeah.
Fan myself, but we can't really have them during this period, the festival period, because you have to have them at late evening.
It has to be at night.
Yeah, but I would love a fireworks on the 5th of...
I mean, can you have daytime fireworks? Is that a thing?
But,
I don't know.
To your point, a few years ago, they had this, what would you call it? No, they had all these pigeons. And they put
synchronised pigeons?
Yeah, and they put little lights.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking.
Little lights on their feet, and they were flying around.
I mean, how'd you
And
get a
that was
pigeon
very,
to... So maybe we utilise the resources we got, Sharon. That's what it's all about. We got all these pigeons. Let's put them to work.
That was like a silent firework display. You had thousands of pigeons flying around with little lights.
I feel like I need to see this. I don't know if is this a thing? Maybe we need to get this in Birmingham. Adriana, yeah.
It happened. It happened in July 2018. It was a project called Fly By Night. We did it over at the old disused golf course.
Right.
And Ian was right. There was 1,500 pigeons all with light. So if you Google Fly By Night Thamesmead,
That's my mind being blown. That is right there.
find-
Absolutely.
you will find the
Okay.
glow-in-the-dark pigeons that we had.
Right, okay. I mean, how do you top that? I don't know how you top 1,500 dancing pigeons, to be honest with you. I think once you've achieved that, you're at the pinnacle, really. But, I mean, where do we go from there? We've got some new face at the table as well. What's your name? Kareen was that? Nice to meet you. We're talking at the minute about what we'd like in the area, what we've had in the area before. We've said we've had fireworks, maybe it's too loud. We've had synchronised pigeons. What was that one? more rubbish bins and dog bins. We had this before. We had a bit of a rubbish conversation earlier. We were talking about, do we need more bins in the area? Is it clean? Is it not clean enough? We said there was a dusty car. We needed cars and the car parks cleaned.
Peabody took away our recycling. I have to walk right over by the lake to recycle.
Right, so we need... Is this an issue?
Bins, yes.
Sharon, Mariam, you seem like you're going off on one there. Is it about recycling? Is it... Don't worry, you can talk. I'm not the conversation police, all right? I'm just here. I want to be involved in the conversation is all. Right, so it's the building works that stop the recycling bins. We used to have a lot of them, is it? Yeah. So, I mean, is that... How do we get those back? Can we only get them back once the building work's gone?
I think when that's all done, yeah.
And when's this going to be done? Does anyone actually know?
God, sooner the better.
Or is that a question we don't ask? All right, Lynn, we'll come over to yourself, Lynn, yeah.
I want my bins. I don't want to walk all the way back to the lake.
Next summer.
Next summer.
And then they're going to start behind, further up where Binsey was. Where the
Okay.
And then that's the end. And then they will start on the Coraline site.
I mean, is it possible, Lynn, maybe you're the one that can answer this. Can we get the bins back before that? Yours is finished.
Well, apart from the garden bit, I live in Blueberry.
Right, Blueberry.
Yeah.
You're talking to someone from Birmingham, so all these names sort of blend into one for me, to be honest with you. But it sounds like a lovely area. But, I mean, you're missing the recycling bins there. That's something important. And it sounds like we can't get them back to the building works done. But maybe, I don't know, Lynn, is there a way of getting these bins into the area before the building work?
Probably down to Bexley.
All right, maybe it's down to Bexley. It's the big question. Georgia, you had something you wanted to jump in with. Ominous
I was just
music.
going to ask,
Thank you,
do people have to wait until the building work is finished to get recycling bins? Like,
I don't know. That's what we're talking about now.
Yeah.
It seems to be the case.
Why have they been taken away?
We have to look after this planet, and those of us who actually do want to do something,
Right.
they should.
So maybe
encourage us.
that's something that the community wants to do but hasn't been able to do. I mean, I will bring you in. There's lots of hands. Velma, have you got any ideas on this? Are you just soaking up the conversation at the moment? Do you think recycling is a key issue that we need to tackle in the area?
I feel like speaking from a youth perspective, there's not really much awareness in terms of recycling and what to do with it. It's more like you dump your trash wherever you want to, especially with the absence of like bins and stuff. So
That wasn't what you said. That's just to the topic. Yeah. Absolutely. Final thought. Don't sneak off, James. You need to come back and give me a final thought. I can see you there. Ian, what's your final thought?
My final thought.
I know it's a big question.
It's been very emotional. Thank you very much.
Not a problem. It is a roller coaster. It's an emotional roller coaster, Talkaoke, but you've been brilliant. Thank
Done a
you.
very good job.
I appreciate it. And we're looking forward to hearing your harmonica playing. James, we're looking forward to hearing your rapping, your Afro beats. Give us a final thought before you go. It could be a plug. It could be what you want us to talk about next. It could be what you're having for your dinner. It's up to you.
I think everyone should bear with Thamesmead because I think everything is new and lockdown hasn't really helped. So I think everyone should give everything time as well because everything is new. I've lived here for like 15 years and I'm just happy that all these things are happening and eventually more and more is going to happen. I just think people need to speak as well. I don't think everyone has a voice and everyone in Thamesmead needs to believe they have a voice. They shouldn't just put everything on Peabody and think, Peabody's going to... No, they have a voice. They should come to these meetings, make themselves known and what the issues are and what can help. And, yeah,
and maybe that's what
we'll
we talk about
yeah,
next is,
definitely.
and you know, thank you so much first of all. A round of applause for Ian and James. There are loads of great thoughts coming out there. Enjoy the rest of your day. And maybe that's what we go for. We're going to come over to yourself, yeah.
Quick question before I go. I just want to know, having this square is a very brilliant idea. I just want to know if this can be used for private carnivals as well, or just the usage will only be decided by Peabody or the organization in charge of this.
So can other private events hire this space out?
Yeah. Sorry? Yeah, like for example, if you want to have like a cultural carnival sort of, maybe a certain ethnic group, they want to have carnival here.
Maybe have a green festival, raising more awareness on things like recycling issues. I mean, does anyone know, can we do that? Can this space be hired out? Adriana, you look like you're gearing up to tackle this one.
I think we definitely want more events here. I'm just not sure about making them private and excluding other people. But we should definitely, if you have ideas, we can definitely talk. And that's actually, this event is about starting to get that conversation going and understanding how people want to use this square. So I think we're open to all ideas, but I think because it's been built as a public square, all the events should be public.
Absolutely. So we want to keep it as inclusive as possible, get it around to as many people as possible. Margot, I know you got a thought with Billy over on the side there. What's on your mind, Billy?
You go to have somewhere that people can hire like a place that they can hold the entertainment or party or the. Around here, you can't hold the parties or nothing. You've got to hire a hall.
Do you need like an indoor space that you can hire out?
Hire a hall somewhere community can hold their own parties and groups and all that. Like, you ain't got nothing like that.
So maybe like party in the library?
Tours. I can do one final tour this afternoon. We've been doing tours of the library building, and the top floor is a community hall with a really big terrace, so that can be hired privately. So up there, and I can go off and do a final tour now.
I mean, if anybody wants to,
you want to come? Sorry. I don't know the rates yet, no. But there is a leaflet around that I can give to people, and you can speak to our communities colleagues that.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody does figure that out, what the rates are for the library and stuff like that, let us know. Maybe you'll find out, Murray, and we can come back. Shout it out.
So
on the
I don't want to
speaker.
drag people away, but I am now going to do my final library tour.
That's absolutely fine. Anybody want to go up for a library tour? Joanne, look like you're gearing to go up there. Let us know how the sites are. Let's tell you what, before everyone jumps off, before everyone goes, Velma, hold on your horses for 1 second. Joanne, hold on. I want to get some final thoughts from you before you go. I just want to get, what you take from the conversation. Maybe it's what you're looking forward to seeing in the library. Let's get some final thoughts. Velma, we'll start with yourself.
For me, I think it's...
Sorry, that's my bad.
I think it'll be good to have something that youths can use after school, such as a studio, dance place, mini cinema area, something that actually Thamesmead youths really enjoy.
Nice, thank you. Joanne, you look going off. Georgia, can we just get the mic over to Joanne there? That'd be amazing, thank you. Joanne, what's your final thought?
I'm looking forward to seeing the new library. When's it going to be open? Like for library loose days?
So the library downstairs won't be open until next year because Bexley Council are fitting that out, but the top floor will be open from September.
And is there going to be more events in Thamesmead? That's the final thought of the day.
Yes, definitely. Thamesmead Festival, 14th of August.
14th of August, everyone, Thamesmead Festival.
There we go, absolutely.
Margot,
come to yourself. Just give us 1 second now. I want to get a final thought as well before you go.
I'm just looking forward to an environment whereby people, we're going to drive more awareness regarding cleanliness, because we are used to people dumping rubbish and refuse anywhere and old appliances anywhere. So I think we need to make the people to be aware that they should maybe dropping rubbish everywhere, because everything looks beautiful now, but within a short period of time, if the people still continue with the way we operate, this place will turn to a messy place.
Right, so we need to keep it clean.
Yeah,
we need to make sure we're working as a team, as a community, to keep it a nice, lovely area. I want to say thank you to those that are going off to your library tour. Enjoy the library tour. Come back, tell us how it was. Sharon, you jump in. Do you want to give us a final thought before you go as well?
We have a final thought.
No,
over
goodbye.
Here.
Have a great day. A round of applause, though, for all of them.
Yeah, we want a final
Have
thought.
a good one. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Lynn, hopefully we'll see you back later as well.
I've
Georgia.
just got one.
Yeah, go for it.
Recently,
Which mic are we
one
on?
of
One
our
roaming
swans
mic.
was killed. Someone shot it, and I wondered if there was, if some funding can't be done for wildlife cameras, because I used to do swan watch and go out at 2 o'clock in the morning to keep the swans safe, because we lost quite a few. And I think they've got as much right to be on this planet as we have.
So maybe
and
like
we
an
have a
animal
duty
watch.
to look after them.
We've had a lot of chat about the environment, how we bring that together. I know, Mariam, you seem like you had a point there, and I know Margot had a point as well. But Ellen, just because we're close to the mic there, do you want to jump in? Are you off in? Go enjoy the library
Thank
tour,
you,
right?
thank
See if you can
you.
spot any
Final
swans from the
thoughts?
top and let us know. Ellen.
I was going to ask about the swans. Did Joanne say that someone shot the swan?
Sounded like it,
Wow.
yeah. I know.
Why
it
would someone
sounded-
shoot a swan? That sounds a bit crazy to me. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that
Shooting
was a thing.
swans.
Pardon? Yeah. Well, it's just like, oh God, leave the swans alone.
I mean, do you know, was there a swan that was shot in the area? That's what we're talking about. Joanne just dropped that bombshell.
How did they get the gun?
Okay, well, keep us posted if there is any more local swan shooting. Hopefully there's not, all right, touch wood.
Crime.
But yeah, I mean, where do we want to go from this? Do we want to carry on talking? Do we want to do a swap? You know, what? Yeah, I think. Do you know what we might do? I don't know how long we keep it going for. I think we've got 3 more minutes to go. Maybe what we do then is we do sort of a round of Rhino thoughts. Where's the emotional music? Where's that one? Where's the emotion? I'm looking for the emotion.
What I was going to say is that I know there are going to be like fitness classes in the nest, but I was thinking about whether classes could be done out here, you know, and like. Because inside is great, of course, but I'm just imagining not everyone will know about them then. Not everyone will know about it because not everyone will see it. But if people start noticing it from the flats and seeing that there's this fitness class going, it might encourage people to come out. Oh God, it looks like it's about to pour down.
It does, yeah. I mean, we've been lucky today, I think. We've had the sunglasses out, we've had a bit of sunshine.
Yeah.
I think it's nice. Yeah, let's start to get a round of final thoughts. Georgia, we'll start with you. What are you taking from today? What's your final thought?
Oh, a final thought.
Big question. We've got 3 minutes, 2 minutes. I've got the time police somewhere.
2 minutes.
I don't want to
2
run
minutes.
over.
Oh my God. There's been a lot of talk about animals, and I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. I think we need to keep on talking about the animals.